I'm Arthur Moats, and I'm here to tell you about my new book, The Moats Theory of Life. If you haven't picked up a copy yet, I strongly encourage you to. This book not only is a fun read, but it's a guide to helping you become a person of impact and inspiration. If you are ready to take the next step to improving not only your life, but those around you as well, go get a copy of The Moats Theory of Life, and it's available at moatstheory.com. What's up? It's the Arthur Moats Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's up, bro?
Man, we got Taco Meat Deke in the building.
Oh, dude.
Yes, I love Taco Meat Deke, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Pirates, man. Is that the Kutch? What we got on, man?
It's McCutcheon.
That's the only one to wear, right?
Yeah, I think he was on the squad long enough and a staple with the Pirates, winning that MVP.
Absolutely.
And turning the franchise around where...
Did he really turn it around, though?
Helped it, yeah,
He
for
helped
sure.
it, okay.
Definitely, yeah, because before him, we had nothing.
Yeah.
Before him, we had nothing. And
He gave us the LeBron, though.
What do you mean? I think it was
Impact
more...
when he was here, MVP, then he left us, and now we're like, no!
I think that was more the Pirates' decision.
I agree.
Because we don't like paying guys. Now, whether that was a smart move or not, I know people were in an uproar at the time, but ever since he's left, I don't know if he would be playing up to the amount of money we would have paid him, to be honest with you. But team morale is down. City morale is down with him being gone.
If we're going to lose, at least let me go see Kutch while we lose.
Yeah.
That's how I felt about it, but it is what it is, man.
I mean, losing Cole hurt too. So.
Oh, absolutely, man.
But I think as soon as McCutcheon left, I think that was a jersey you could keep wearing.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, I'm starting to feel like just baseball jerseys in general, that it's a style piece now, and they're coming back because it's got that button. I like the button look.
You show that meat, boy. Yeah. Show that thing.
I'm just going for the ratings, dude.
I'm telling you, man, anytime you come in here with the buttons unbuttoned, ratings go up. I'm telling you.
All right.
I like it, man.
All right.
You gotta keep doing it, man. You making sacrifices for the team. You got Deke in here, no hat, no glasses. You're full sex symbol right now, man.
No, bro. Not at all.
We're about to start flirting with Corona Madden League, Deke.
No.
Mr. Suit Jacket, no shirt, Deke. That's what it's coming down to. I can feel it happening. You've been gradually working your way to there. We almost there, though, man.
Yeah, it might be getting dangerous, dude. How much power, how much freedom you start giving me, it could get dangerous.
As long as you don't come in here with the little rope chains on, man, we good. Yeah, that's when I'm gonna draw the line. Like, look, Deke, all right, you can show the taco meat, man,
and sunglasses.
Yeah. You're not wearing those shades and no damn rope chains in here sitting next to you. We're not doing that. All right, this isn't South Beach. You know what I mean? This isn't LA. We're not doing that.
Okay, understood.
Yeah,
maybe
man.
if we're outside though, at some point, if we're doing like an outdoor podcast or something like that.
Very true.
What did you want to start off with?
Man, so funny thing, we got stuff to talk about, but this was, I guess, current. Have you been watching it? Well, it's one of the live basketball sports that's going on right now. It's called the basketball tournament.
Well, no, yeah. So I was having this conversation with my buddy. Yeah. I think it was over past weekend, 4th of July weekend. And I'm calling him up. I'm like, there's literally no reason the NBA shouldn't be able to pull this off. I'm watching up at my camp over 4th of July weekend some guys that were really good in college, some guys that I really haven't heard of.
ISO Joe is in there, though. Joe Johnson is in there getting buckets.
They formed together. Is it a 64-team tournament?
Something like that, yeah. But it's been going on for a couple of years now. Yeah.
But now it's a little bit more highlighted because everything... Well, it was on ESPN. I don't know if they always have it on ESPN.
The past 2 years, they've had them on ESPN because I knew a couple of guys that actually entered in and then some guys that wanted to enter into the tournament. That's the only reason why I even heard about it. And then, obviously, it lost steam when the Big Three came out because the Big Three had actual NBA, superstars playing in there. Obviously, they were past their prime, but they had the name recognition and obviously with Ice Cube backing it. But with the basketball tournament, that's what they call it, the TBT. It's like you said, guys that had great college careers. You think about a guy like Aaron Kraft that played at Ohio State, and their coach was Jared Sellinger. You know what I mean? So you have those type of names, but I mean, for the majority of the guys, there are a lot of overseas players, but it's a lot more competitive than a Big Three setting. Mm-hmm. But I mean, for me, I enjoy it just because it's something to watch. Wife was
you were actually watching it,
bro, because I'm a Joe Johnson fan.
I couldn't get into it.
They got ISO Joe playing this past weekend, And literally, man, just watching him, I mean, he still looks good. Super smooth as a walking bucket, bro.
Could be 10 minutes a game for a playoff team, maybe.
Oh, man, more than that, bro. Like, he looked good. Like, but that's the thing, man. You just see, like, him out there just getting this game on, you know, and because I appreciate just, like, basketball. And you already know, like, basketball is, like, my love. Like, I would watch basketball over any other sport any day of the week. So wifey be looking at me crazy when I'm watching 4 games in a row of the basketball tournament. And I'm like, I remember that dude from college. He went to St. John's. Well, I remember this dude. He's playing overseas in Europe. Well, I remember him. Like, for me, I love that. So I'm over here watching these guys get it. And it's like competitive pickup ball, man. But if you win, your team wins $1 million.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm like, yeah, I'm not opposed to that.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and you could bet on it too. Just on
really?
It. Yes, you can.
I didn't know that. But
not that I've bet on it yet, but you can bet on it.
I watched it in passing. I had it on. I was just looking for. I was pretty hungover this whole day of this weekend, so I was just inside the whole time, just sleeping and watching TV. So I was looking for something sports to watch, and there were no good documentaries on. I just wasn't feeling some certain things, and I see this basketball tournament, throw it on. I really couldn't get into it. I watched maybe 15 minutes of it in passing, but as I'm sitting there watching it, I'm thinking to myself, all right, the NBA better be playing. Yeah. If this is going on right now, there's no reason the NBA cannot get all this shit together and play throughout the playoffs and get a finals going. With all the efforts, technology, and things they're going to be putting in place to get this season going, come on. Like, this needs to happen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, right now, they had their first big step in terms of getting in terms of getting a lot of the players down to Orlando to the bubble. And now that's the first phase. I think now they have to all go through the quarantine of traveling and getting there. And then from there, they'll start back practicing and things like that. I think the biggest concern or the issue that I saw was just how right now, depending on which day of the week it is, you'll see, this is before they travel to the bubble, but as in like a day before, you would see different teams shutting down their facilities because of a lot of people getting the coronavirus and things like that. So that's the only thing that I'm trying to figure out, just logistically, how many courts are there in the bubble. So for example, like the Clippers last week, they had to shut down their facility. And then the Bucks were the week before that. So say the Lakers were to have an issue while they're down there. Does that affect just the Lakers, or would that affect every other team that's down? That's my only concern with it right now. But hey man, they like I said, they took the first big step in terms of getting them there. So that's a plus.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping it happens. Yeah. And honestly, the look of the basketball tournament, that's what it's called, the basketball tournament.
The basketball tournament, yeah.
The look of it, I'm assuming there were no fans or minimal people in there, but it looked fine on TV. Yeah. Like it wasn't like I was lacking a basketball experience from watching it.
But technically, though, you said you weren't even engaged in it enough, though.
No, I wasn't at all. But what I mean is I was thinking as I was watching it more of possibilities down the road with the NBA. So I'm watching, I'm like, all right, it seems like everything's good here. Yeah. They got this whole tournament set up. All right, it seems like it's being pretty successful. Why can't the NBAs be successful? And I'm thinking for my viewing pleasure, you know what? Nothing's really like holding me back from my viewing pleasure here. I mean, they got a wall in the background, but I feel like I'm watching a basketball game. It didn't feel like anything was taken away.
I'll say
there being no fans. Yeah. So yeah, I was like, I'm looking forward to the NBA.
I equated to this. I don't think even if the NBA does start, it's going to feel like an NBA game. I think it's going to be more like you're at the rec and you're watching guys play pickup ball. Like, that's the vibe I get anytime I'm watching the basketball tournament, regardless of the skill level. Because, I mean, a lot of these dudes have still, I mean, the one cat was on the Lakers this season. You know what I mean? So you see guys who are actually playing in the NBA, but it just comes off as pickup ball because there are no fans. And that's my biggest name,
I think
man.
Once you see the brand of the NBA teams, though, you see LeBron being out there.
I'm just telling you,
it's going to bring a little bit more meaning to you.
For me personally, I'm just letting you know that's how I'm taking it, bro. Like, it's going to look like, okay, if I was, and I think that's why it appeals to me, though, is because it gives me that nostalgia of, like, I remember when you're playing back home, especially when you're younger, you can't get on the big boy court, so you got to sit on the side and you just watch the guys go up and down. They shooting threes, they're dunking. Regardless if this guy's a college athlete, a high school athlete, whatever, you're just like, man, this is dope to just watch this. That's how I feel like it's going to be, because you're not going to get the atmosphere in terms of the fans and stuff like that. And I understand that's going to have an effect on it from a viewership standpoint, but I'm just happy that, man, as long as they play, it is what it is, man.
That's what I mean. I don't think there's really going to be too much negative for the person watching on TV. That's what I mean. I don't think there's much downside there. Yeah, you could want the fans. It does bring a little bit extra atmosphere while you're watching it. You see momentum change a little bit. But, dude, honestly, as long as you were getting basketball.
Oh, speaking of fans, I just thought about something.
No, dude.
Did you see where the Pittsburgh Steelers said they're going to allow fans 15,000, if I remember correctly, and the Baltimore Ravens said 14,000. But it is mandatory that you wear a mask. What are your thoughts on that, young Deke Clavin? Deke?
I'll cross that bridge when I get to it.
I was like, oh, Deke, you probably excited, man. The game's going to allow fans. I know you can't wait to see 7. You're going to rave in a terrible towel with your good elbow. But you got to wear a mask to go to be there. Are you going to wear this mask or not? Because I know how strong you told me that you would rather drive out of state to go grocery shopping instead of wearing a mask for 10 minutes.
And I have. And I think Ohio is making it mandatory now. I think West Virginia has made things mandatory.
So now you got to drive to Canada? Where you driving next, man?
Dude, this is just
where you driving next?
Seeming like a losing battle. It's just
no, don't give up hope. I'm ready to hear, where are you driving next? Where's the next road trip for you to go pick up some bubble gum? Because you don't want to wear a mask for 5 minutes to go in there and get the gum. I want to know where it's next. Are you driving to Connecticut? Where you going, man? Minnesota, maybe. You driving to Minnesota. That's what it is. Where you going?
Listen, dude. I just got no comment right now. I want to collect my thoughts on things. I know which way I'm thinking.
Ben's been wearing a mask too. Ben look good in that mask too.
I'm just gonna plead the fifth here. I'm just gonna let's cross the bridge when we get there.
Right,
I'll try to stay open minded about things. And
I mean, you saw LeBron when he showed up to the bubble. He had a mask on. Anthony Davis had a mask on. Joel Embiid had a mask and a full bodysuit on with gloves. Now, granted, his pants were a little short.
I thought that was like a joke. I thought he was making fun of it.
But he still had the mask on, though. Still had the mask on. Everybody got a mask on, man.
Well, I'm Deke, though. Those guys are those guys.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying, bro.
I know, dude. I told you it's seeming like a losing battle right now, and you know how I told you I'm big on common sense.
Fight alive, man. You better not be folding, Deke. Deke, you are not a folder.
I know.
You don't even fold when you do your laundry, man. Come on, bro. What are we talking about, man?
That is definitely true.
Yeah, you're not about to fold right now. Come on, man. Hey, look, you go to Hinesville and you tell them, I'm not wearing a mask. Let me in. Please.
There's got to have some people that are going to have some exceptions to that. Rooney's, I mean, they're not going to have to wear a mask if they don't want to.
I don't know. Coach Tom had a mask on.
I know, but...
And did you also see where they said not only, so that was the Steelers element of it, but then the NFL, this what threw me off with the NFL. They said you could play the games, that's fine, but you have to socially distance in the locker room. Media availability in the locker room is weird. But then they said no jersey swaps after the game.
Yeah.
And you can't have any interaction that's closer than 6 feet after the game. I'm like, man, you just played a full game with these guys. That if everybody's supposed to be getting tested before going out there, it's not like you're going to just magically get corona in the third quarter if you didn't have it before the game start. So for me, I just don't really understand that whole purpose of, hey, now after the game, no, we can't do that now. I know you just played 4 quarters, maybe even overtime, bleeding, sweating, spitting, all type of stuff on each other. But that's different after the game because you might have had contracted it. How? If we test them before the game, we test them beforehand, and it's supposed to be safe enough to play. I don't understand. Help me out.
I don't get it either, dude. I don't get it either.
It's just that when I saw that, I said that made absolutely zero sense to me.
No.
I was like, so it's safe enough to play, but you don't want to run the risk of catching it afterwards? Am I missing something here?
No,
I'm missing something, bro.
There's a bunch of fluky shit going on. Just people making decisions. A lot of it doesn't make sense. So yeah. That's all I know. And you're right about the whole jersey exchange thing, definitely.
I just didn't get that at all. Now, I will say this. I don't expect you to give into the powers that be and wear a mask. But hypothetically, but hold on. But hypothetically, if you were to wear a mask, Are you gonna get like a custom mask, or you just gonna have like the plain white mask, or you gonna have like a I love Ben on your mask? Like, what you gonna have, man? We should do a Twitter IG poll. What type of mask should Deke wear? If Deke, I mean, hypothetically now, because like I said, you hold, man, keep the fight alive, man. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
You will not fold under pressure.
I feel like you're mocking me, man.
Nah, man, I would never do such a thing. You know me, I'm a good guy, man. I wouldn't do that. Nah.
I'm trying to, dude, but yeah. And are you saying hypothetically?
Yeah, just hypothetically, what type of mask would you wear? It would probably be Steelers, right?
Well, dude, we got our friends over at Steeler Gang. We have John.
So you go Steeler Gang with it?
He's already given me some bandanas.
Okay, so you would go bandana then?
I would just wear one of those probably.
Now, because there are two type of mask people, right? It's two type of mask people. You got the above the nose mask people and the below the nose mask people. I've seen them both. Now, technically, they say you're supposed to wear it above the nose, but sometimes because I see them with the under the nose, I'm like, dang, this is kind of weird. Like, should I tell them? Do they know? I feel like they do. I don't really know what to say though.
One of my buddies, I saw he was writing something about it because he's kind of against the mask thing too, but he's had to travel and do certain things. He said he does it. He puts it below his nose as a rebellion, as an FU type of thing.
Because I was like, I see that, and I'm always like, should I tell him? I just leave it alone. So would you be above the nose or below the nose guy?
Well, I do the rebel thing there for sure. I would try to make some type of statement with it, and that would probably be it. It's like FU, like I'm gonna wear this haphazardly, but I'll I'll appease you and put it on. But I still haven't yet, so that's just all hypothetical, man. Hypothetical. And I'm gonna try, but it's looking bleak right now. I'm being straight up with you.
Keep hope alive.
I'm being straight up with you.
Keep hope alive. Let's go deep.
I didn't think it would be like this, dude.
I'm just seeing everybody.
I'm sad. I'm disappointed. I don't know what to say, dude.
I just feel like all the people that you've been naming that you didn't think would wear a mask are masking it loud and proud right now, bro.
I don't see loud and proud's the thing. It's
Ben took extra pictures with the mask on.
I don't know about loud and proud. I still haven't seen Favre. I still haven't seen Belichick or Michael Jordan. So I got those three. Okay. But I mean, at some point, probably Belichick if he's gonna have to go to work with the Patriots. I mean, that's definitely a thing. Puts a hinder on that type of process. And they
make sure that they get a picture of the coaches in the mask. Have you seen every coach that they have walking into a facility, they make sure you can see the mask? And then some coaches, like, they do different designs on their mask. Like Coach Simon with the, like, chill, sleek, nothing, no real design on it. I think Ron Rivera, he had, like, a logo on his. I know, man, I'm trying to think who else. Somebody else, they had, like, a crazy design. I was like, oh, okay, I like this. All right.
I don't like the whole idea of branding the mask and
it's a fashion statement now, bro.
Dude, I don't like it.
I got mask drip.
I know you've told me.
I'll be over here like, I'm gonna wear this one with these J's.
You and your son, you match.
We gotta have a matching mask. Oh, we got the family mask. We got the couples only mask. We got the it's breakfast time mask. Then we got the it's the late night. You know what I'm saying? We making moves mask. I'm telling you, we got a mask every occasion, bro. And then we got the I forgot my mask. I'm gonna just put the generic. I had that on the day. We took the other car. I left my mask, plural, my maskuses, plural in my car. So in my wife's car, we got the whole just family pack of extra masks, but it's just the basic white mask. I didn't even feel cool. Otherwise, I would have dropped a picture, but it's all good.
Yeah, I'm not knocking you. Everyone's got their own way of dealing with this, but this is just not my thing.
I even thought about going gang related and getting like the red bandana, then getting the blue bandana. Like, since it's a crisis right now, I can get away with this type of stuff. I thought about that, but now I was like, I don't really know the gang situation here in Pittsburgh. I don't want to take no chances, so I just decided against that. But I'm telling you, man, I'm thinking about it all, bro.
Yeah. And I'm just trying to be straight up too. I'm kind of fortunate in the situation I'm in life. Yeah. I'm working with you. I don't know if you want to call it freelance. But we're a team with this.
It's our Lance.
Yeah,
we make it our own way.
Well, yeah, we'll put it that way. But I'm not in a situation where I'm going to work that they require that, and I'm still living with my parents. So it's easy for me to say this in a way, because if I'm doing something else in my life, then it goes back to common sense. So.
Well, and I know for me, the only time I really have to put the mask on is when I'm going to the radio, to like the studio. Yeah. And it's literally, all right, you get out the car, you put the mask on, you get in the elevator, you go up to the third floor, you go in the studio, you take the mask off. I literally had the mask on like 3 minutes, bro. Tops.
I know. And I don't like that. But hey,
You're not. Nah, you better not, man.
What?
You ain't on. Just walk out there and just hold your face like this. Like, it's my mask, bro. Just give him that one.
I don't know, man. It's just, I'm getting beat down, dude. I'm just getting beat down. I'll try. It sounds like you're rooting for me, actually.
I am, man, because you become the villain that we all just turned to love now. Like, at first it was
the Joker. The Joker. I mean, you've called me the Joker before.
Or would you be considered like an anti-villain, right? Or an anti-hero? Like, oh, he's
Deadpool.
not really.
Deadpool.
Yeah, he's like a Deadpool. Okay. Like, I mean, he's not like bad, but he's not good.
Though. Rogue. Like
good intentions, but kind of janky. Like, yeah.
I think Deadpool's a good example.
Yeah, that's the vibe. So it's like, now I'm like, you know what? I'm on your team. I'm rooting for you, man. I'm gonna have my mask on. But that's just because now I'm into the whole fashion of the mask thing. I'm over here like, well, who else got a new mask that's dropping? When yours coming out? All right, I'm going to cop yours too then. Like, yeah, it's just I'm telling you, it's the truth. I sit there, I'm like, oh, they got a sale going on. If I buy this shirt, I get 3 masks. Copping that. Yeah, wow. Man, that's why I'm at with it now.
I didn't know about this underground mask game going on.
What? Absolutely. And it's a different style of mask too. Like, you got like the kind with the little metal piece on your nose. So you can just, you fold it down so it's convenient. Then you got the kind that's like just smush your face. It's hard to breathe, but it looks cool. Then you got the kind with the tie up top and the bottom undone, like how Coach Tomlin was. Then you got the kind that's got all of it hooked together. Then you got the kind with the big old Darth Vader breathing things up there. I'm not a fan of those. I feel like that's overkill.
honestly, no. Oh, man. See, I bet you if you go into places, you would, I don't know, do you have to keep your eyes uncovered, like your whole face uncovered? Because that would be I think if I wore a Darth Vader mask, that would be my way of like doing it.
That would be pretty dope, though.
Because that would be hilarious.
I would love that.
That would be hilarious.
I would love it. You just gave me an idea, actually. I might go copy a Darth Vader mask. My son already has one, too, so it's the perfect...
I just don't think if you're walking into a grocery store, I mean, Heinz Field, people have done that. They've dressed up in costumes and stuff. I don't know if they have to have them off whenever they're entering.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
I'm sure some of those people, though, with their
Stormtrooper masks and
costumes and stuff, I don't know. Bring up a good point.
Yes, I don't know if I would consider that a mask. I think I would.
I mean, technically it is a mask,
I would be making fun of it, I think, in a way. A Darth Vader
mask is a mask.
It
is a mask.
But
you would have to talk like him if you had the Darth Vader mask. I'm just throwing it out there. If you don't talk like him, you got to take it off.
I could kind of do the breathing like. Nah, I can't. I'm laughing too hard. I can't do it. I used to be able to do it kind of good.
I could dig it, man.
Yeah, this mask talk. It's like it's kind of funny, but I think deep down, it's like making me puke inside. Like I don't. It's just I'm not liking it, but. We'll see.
Keep hope alive, man.
It's part of the news, and we talked about it. There,
absolutely. So. Also was in the news, man. This was right when we finished recording last time, man. It was a historic
it was literally like an hour
quadrillion dollar deal they got done. Patrick Mahomes, man. Crazy deal, man. 10 years, was it $503 million? I mean, I didn't want to leave that third million off. I know that's important when you're talking about the details and everything, man. But, what was your thoughts on that, man?
Sure. I mean, why not? If you're the Chiefs, the Chiefs, you kind of got to be ecstatic, I think, by doing that deal. With Mahomes, I think it makes sense too. I think it just comes down to, with any person, any player, what do you want? Because probably a lot of people throughout Brady's career, they're thinking, Brady, you're an idiot. You should be taking more money. Yeah. But if he prefers winning, maybe he prefers giving the team a little bit more leverage on how they can bring in guys to help the team win overall. If he prefers that a little bit more than having an extra $5 to $10 million a year, then that's on him. So I think some people are saying Mahomes left some out on the table, but at the same time, isn't his guaranteed half of that $200 million? So it's $100 million. That's his guaranteed. So,
because I want to say he gets, I think, a 66 as sign-in, 140 injury guarantee, and then after that is rolling guarantee, similar to what the Steelers are going to try to do with Le'Veon Bell.
All right, so let's say that over the next 4 to 5 years, he's able to play out, this first half of the contract. I think that guaranteed money makes sense for a contract in that 4 to 5 year window, correct? And I was hearing some stuff too at that point. He might be able to renegotiate.
Yeah. So depending on how the market resets and stuff
it just feels like that Mahomes and Chiefs relationship, it's going to be a good one where they probably will come out and renegotiate if it's needed, if Mahomes is maybe feeling a little bit slighted on his side.
Yeah.
If he's performing like he's performing. So, yeah, dude, I don't know. I think it's fine. I mean, we all know he's the next guy in the league, so Chiefs wanted to have him for the next 10 years, and it seems like he likes what the Chiefs are doing as a franchise and likes Kansas City, so good to me.
Yeah, man. Like I said, it's personal preference. If he wants to sign a 10-year deal, I don't have an issue with it. I think for me personally, I wouldn't want to sign something that long just because we talk about how much changes in 10 years. I mean, 10 years ago, we were talking about Aaron Rodgers. And think about him like being able to reset the market. And then you saw 5 years later how that changed. Or even Vic, when he came and signed with the Eagles and he signed his big deal, the $100 million deal, how we thought that was. Or even Donovan McNabb when he signed a 10-year deal and actually played out the whole 10 year for $100 million. The market shifts every couple of years. That's my only concern with it. So I understand that they are trying to play ahead in terms of projecting where the market will be. But what's to say a guy like a Lamar Jackson in 2 or 3 years can't reset that again? Or even a Deshaun Watson can't potentially come up and come close to resetting it. Or we talked about the new wave of quarterbacks, your Joe Burrows, your Tua Tagovailoas, or even in a year from now when Trevor Lawrence comes to the league, when their contract, when it's time for them to re-sign and renegotiate. Right now, it's a mega deal for Mahomes, but in 5, 6, 7 years, now he could be on the back end like, man, hold on, I need more money. This isn't cool.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I feel like they'll be able to work that out at some point.
But we say that, but we've seen how many times people, I mean, and you know how fans are. We talk about this all the time. They hit you with well, you signed it. Don't ask for money. You signed the deal. You knew what you were signing for. So that's my only concern. I personally would have said a 5-year, 6-year max, because that still gives you the flexibility to get out of it while you're still young and while you still can, I guess, while you're still in your prime necessarily. You know, when you're talking about Mahomes, I think he's 24, I think right now. So, I mean, 10 years from now, he's at 34. Now, he's still going to be in his prime, but there's a difference between getting paid when you're 34 versus if you're getting paid when you're 30 or 29 for his case. And that's the only thing I was thinking about in that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I guess I am kind of looking at it as a 5 to 6 year thing. Maybe the 10-year deal, the optics of that is kind of just for looks and just to show you like, hey, because, at 5 or 6 years, say that is the point where, you know what, I want more money. It's either you do renegotiate or he wants out. It's like, trade me and I'll get a new contract.
But he has a no trade clause as well. So that is in there. So he, like I said, he could initiate the trade, but say he's playing bad. And this is the only thing that I was concerned about.
Who are you more concerned for? Just both sides?
I think for both sides, yeah, because I said I could see it's pros and cons for both sides. The pros for the Chiefs are they have him locked up 10 years.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, even if he keeps playing on this level, he's going to be underpaid, and by the time it's year 7, 8 of that contract. But the flip side is if he gets hurt, if he starts playing bad, if it goes into the Aaron Rodgers thing where he's the best player on offense, but he doesn't have enough talent around him to win, well, now you're just, you're wasting time. You're not really doing anything. But then if you're Mahomes, the good side is, well, hey, you got all this money guaranteed. You have this contract. You have the long-term stability. But, okay, say things aren't going the way you want to go or you want more money, you're stuck unless you ask for a trade. But then that's going to be a whole different situation. And you got to find someone that's willing to pick up the contract, get a negotiation and all those other things. So it's a lot of variables that go into that, along with the fact that if he wants certain people to come and play with him, he's not going to have the money like as an organization because of the contract that he has. So that's why I say I can see both sides, pros and cons with it.
You know what? I was listening when this first came out too. I think it was The Herd. He was making a good point I kind of like too. And it goes back to what I was saying at the beginning. It's, all on what Mahomes wants. Because I'm sure a lot of this was detailed out for him. Yeah. Where, it might be smarter for you financially to do a 5 or 6 year deal. Mm-hmm. But maybe he wants a 10-year deal and just set it, forget it. He doesn't want to worry about money as much. Like how much is enough? And maybe that was it for him. It's just like, I just want to win football games. This is enough money for me. I'll be able to make it up some other way if I need money. But,
with Hunt's ketchup, that's how you gonna make it up. What would you talking about?
Yeah, dude, that's what I mean. Like he'll be a staple in the Kansas City community and have all these other sponsorships. So I don't know. I think there might be some truth to that too. It's all on what you want. So if that's what he wanted, good for him.
Yeah, like I said, man, I think he's going to be fine. Now, I guess my question to you would be, over the next 10 years, who do you think will be better? Him, Lamar,
I got him, dude.
Deshaun Watson, all those guys?
I got Mahomes, dude.
Okay.
Why do you got another one emerging?
Man. I think Lamar is definitely going to be in the conversation.
I guess we still got to see Lawrence, but Mahomes, I told you last couple podcasts, or whenever we do bring him up on the podcast, he won young. He's playing with house money now. I think big things are ahead for Mahomes.
Okay. Bigger than what Aaron Rodgers did when he won it young and was at that stage in his career? I mean, granted, he wasn't as young as Mahomes, but he still won it within his first.
I know, because that
seasons there, yeah.
Because that is the argument. I was talking to one of my buddies, and he had a hot take saying that Mahomes is gonna, whenever he's done with his career, we're gonna be talking about Mahomes versus Brady as the GOAT, and it's gonna be a legit conversation with Mahomes. And I brought up that point. I was just like,
it ain't no legit conversation. We know who the GOAT is right here, baby.
Huh? Yeah, I know. Well, I told him that. I was like, listen. Let's say second GOAT before you
second GOAT
before you go off the wheels here. But whenever I brought up the counterpoint, I didn't really knock what he was saying. It's like anyone could have a prediction,
right? But
that's going to be hard to do with that type of contract because what Brady was able to do with that contract and how the Patriots were able to build that team, I don't know how often we're going to be able to see that because we saw what happened with Aaron Rodgers after he won young. He got these massive deals. The Packers defense, the Packers team around him just really wasn't the same as that first year
because they didn't have enough money to pay those guys. That's always the issue with that, man.
Yeah. So you think it's easy. I mean, the Saints with Breeze probably thought it was easy. The Seahawks with Russell Wilson, Packers with Rodgers. You think it's going to be easy. Us with Big Ben. We have two, but it's tougher than you think. And the Patriots were able to have this amazing formula. But I think, in terms of the next quarterback, I mean, Mahomes. Yeah, okay. I'm backing Mahomes.
All right, I can dig
until he proves me otherwise.
I could dig
or one of the other guys steps up.
Yeah, I could dig it.
Hindsight will be 20/20, I guess. But yeah, I'm saying Mahomes right now.
All right, I like it then.
Are you saying Mahomes?
Yeah, I think Mahomes. I think it's still going to be
because you were coming high off his playoff run, man. Right?
You said I was coming high off it.
Yeah. You really liked what you were saying with Mahomes.
Yeah, I like Mahomes.
Yeah. So
that's what, I was just checking to see what your thoughts were.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't have an issue with Mahomes. I think Mahomes is that dude, but I think it's gonna be obviously Mahomes is one, but I think it's gonna be. I personally am leaning more towards Lamar than I am like a Deshaun Watson right now.
Yeah, that's just I would too. I would too for sure. It seems like he's got the work ethic.
He has that chip, man.
Dude. Yeah, I like his attitude, man. Yeah. He seems like a humble dude, and if he just keeps improving year to year, just like he did last year, I mean, I think the sky could be the limit.
And
for him.
I think one of the bigger reasons why I'm more confident in Lamar outside of his play than I am Deshaun is because organization, the Ravens are run awesome. I mean, we talk about how they build their rosters, how they just overall operate as a staff, GM. It's so much more stability. I mean, we talk about, even in Pittsburgh, we always had so much respect for their organization because we're like, yo, they run theirs just like how we run ours here in Pittsburgh. And that's why they're able to still be successful for so long, just like the Steelers were. Steelers are. Whereas with the Texans, we talk about how every year you don't know what's going on down there with I mean, dude, shout out to Bill O'Brien, man, for getting the gig as the GM and head coach. But sometimes, man, he makes some decisions. You're just like, I don't really think that this is going to give you long-term success. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I guess you don't know what he's thinking because initially we were both like this. Like, come on,
dude,
trading
what
Hopkins
you doing?
for that. You could have at least got a first-round pick if you're going to trade him.
Come on,
you know
man.
what I mean?
Diggs got what? Come on, man.
But maybe, I don't know, maybe he's got something up his sleeve. Maybe we'll see what he's got going on. I don't agree with it right now, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Maybe he thinks bringing in Cooks because he was the Patriots guy for a little bit.
Yeah,
he sees something in David Johnson that he can revitalize his career and it'll fit with Deshaun Watson. I don't agree with it, but it's one of those things.
I'll give you my hot take. You want my hot take, man?
Okay, go ahead.
Any of Bill Belichick's coaches, assistants that go out and get head coaching jobs, we always talk about how they usually are really bad, right? I think it's because they all signed an agreement with Belichick saying, hey, look, bro, we're going to take this job and we're going to sabotage that team and make sure that you still the big dog in the AFC. I'm telling you, man, like I seen it too many times, man. Think about what McDaniel, think about what Josh did, man. Josh left, took the Colts job, had them think like it was all sweet, and then bounced. Come on, man. And then where did he go? He went back to New England, man. That's what I'm saying, man. He put their little sleeper cells he's putting out there like, yo, go over there and destroy that. You go over there and
Flores might be the outlier, though, here.
Yeah, but we're going to see because they talked about last year. They were tanking, remember? And that was in the division, remember?
They still got Tua, though.
We're going to see, man. Tua's hurt, though.
But
technically, he said he's not hurt. He said he's good, so we'll see.
Players don't like tanking, though, correct?
Coaches tank, though.
GMs
tank.
GMs. I don't feel like a coach is looking to tank.
When I say management,
because coach wants a culture, right?
Coaches want culture, but coaches also got to answer the GM. You know how many times I've talked to coaches,
hey, you've been winning too much here, buddy.
Dude, I've talked to coaches and they tell me, hey man, certain decisions are above me and him. That doesn't sound like a coach it has the green light. That sounds like if the GM wants that from a personnel standpoint, that's what he's going to get.
In terms of the players playing hard for the coach.
Well, no, yes, that element. But if the GM is telling that coach, hey, look,
like
I know that's the better player,
starters.
Put that guy in instead. That's all I'm saying, man. Makes me wonder.
Let me think. Who else is coming out in the Patriots? I don't know.
What's the cat with the pencil in Detroit?
Patricia,
you saw that?
You're right, out. McDaniels.
Yeah.
Romeo Crennel.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't really have much success.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, dude. McDaniels obviously with the Broncos.
Yeah.
Nothing there.
Mm-hmm.
Am I missing someone? Is there anyone else? We got Judge. Brian. We got Judge with the Giants.
Yeah,
now.
We'll see what that looks like. Yeah.
There's definitely one or two more we're missing.
It absolutely is. I feel like we're always missing, but we're missing them for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just trying to think if anyone.
Is Charlie Weiss?
He was Notre Dame.
No. I thought was he under Belichick though?
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He failed
at Notre Dame.
That's what I'm saying, man. You just can't trust any of them.
What's Notre Dame got to do with it though?
That's the pipeline. Come on, bro. Are you following this thing, man? Go with my conspiracy theory here, man. It's the pipeline, bro. It's the pipeline.
Well, I guess Bill O'Brien's the other one then.
Well, I told you.
You think he's been teetering the line then of like just being good enough to make the playoffs,
just
where
respectable.
Someone's not going full blown conspiracy on it?
Well, see, the thing is, if you're the Texans and you're like, hey, if we're good enough, we go in there. That keeps out a team that really could upset them. But since we're in, now they don't have to worry about that because we're gonna make sure we lose to the right team and beat the right team.
Every time they've played the Patriots, they've lost. They picked up Osweiler. I could have told anyone that was a bad deal. I could have told anyone.
I'm just saying.
The Broncos, even I knew that was a bad deal. I know they wanted to keep him, but
I don't know who had it worse between the Broncos, the Texans, or the Browns because they were all paying him to not play him. Like, I will pay you if you stay home. Don't come to work. Like, it was crazy.
How does Osweiler feel about that? Does he feels
paid?
Does he feel disrespected, or is he just smiling?
Listen, man, we all strive to be a guy that can get paid that much to not have to do that much. People talk bad about Sam Bradford. I'm like, y'all crazy as heck. I'd have traded it any day. But that's not even what we came to talk about today, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say we got anything else, man. We got anything else here?
I think we did. I mean, we talked our basketball team. We talked baseball. We didn't talk Deke with the mask. You know what I'm saying?
No mask.
You know what?
Hopefully,
I think it's time for us to have the conversation that we came in to have, huh?
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Me and Deke, we was doing our thing, and we came with this idea, man. We said, think about the history of the AFC North. Obviously, the AFC North started in the year of 2002. I think it's important that we emphasize 2002 because anytime before that, it was like the AFC Central.
AFC Central.
Yeah. So we said just in the history of the AFC North, who is the best all 22? You talk about your quarterbacks, your running backs. I even included specialists. I don't know if you did, but I did,
kick returners?
Yeah. I
didn't have kick returners.
Either way, we're good, man. But we say, let's break that down, man. The history of the AFC North, who we thought were our best players, are all 22.
Okay.
So
I actually thought this was easy.
I did too.
I thought this was easy. We might have a discrepancy or two. I think we're only going to have maybe 2 or 3.
I agree.
But now, there's really not much.
Did you include a flex?
I didn't.
Okay.
But, how many running backs do you have?
I did 1 running back, 1 fullback.
Oh, I didn't do fullback.
What'd you do?
I did 2 RBs. No flex.
Of course you
have a flex?
Yeah, I did 1 running back.
Actually, I don't have 2 RBs. I have 1 RB, but I have like a second RB that I was thinking you're gonna pick this RB, and I was just trying to figure out my points here against that RB. But I had it in case we were doing 2 RBs. I was gonna pick
cool
those
because
2.
I'm sure your second RB can be substituted as a flex.
Oh, see, I don't know if I want someone else in my flex now though.
Okay.
Like a receiver.
All right. Okay.
All right. So we can't put running backs at fullback then.
Nah, because the running back and the fullback is different. You can put an
I
extra
feel
running
like
back at flex though.
I feel like my second RB could be a fullback.
Did he play fullback?
He didn't. Not technically.
Well then, nah.
All right, then, man. All right.
Yeah, adjust that list. All right, so I guess we'll start with the easy part, the offensive line, man, because everybody wants to talk offensive line. Nobody cares about skill position, man. So kicking it off with the offensive line, mine I thought was pretty simple, man.
It is.
Yeah, for my 2 tackles, I went Joe Thomas and Jonathan Ogden.
Oh, see, this is. I thought we were gonna do that because there's really no one else at right tackle that you could be putting.
Correct.
Or that you feel really good about, and you can't leave either Joe Thomas or Ogden off the list.
Not at all. So I literally listed as 2 tackles, 2 guards in the center.
Move one of them to right tackle.
Yeah. When you're that good, it doesn't matter. My 2 guards, I went with Alan Faneca and I went with Marshall Yonder. And then at the center position, I went with, of course, Marquise Pouncey. That's my dog.
Yep. That's exactly my list. I feel like the O-line is
going to be identical, bro.
There was, no debate there. That's exactly what I have. Initially, I put DeCastro because I didn't, for whatever reason, I thought Faneca got traded earlier and didn't have the amount of years with the Steelers. Mm-hmm. But no, he has actually more success than DeCastro just for the amount of years he was on our squad. So, definitely Faneca.
So, see, I looked at DeCastro as well for Faneca, and then I looked at him against Yonda, and I was like, both of those guys are just so much more decorated. Now, I'm not saying that DeCastro can't get to that, but as it stands right now, those guys were the clear cut in terms of success. And then even when I looked at the center position, I thought Alex Mack, remember when he was in Cleveland, I was like, man, he was balling out, but his better years happened in Atlanta versus being in Cleveland. So I was like, it's hard to make that move either. So yeah, that's what the old line looks like how it is. I'm glad we agreed upon that, man.
That was easy.
That was easy, man.
That was easy.
I think skill position is going to be pretty easy too, man. So,
I don't know. I feel like we're going to disagree. Are we going there or do we want to go defense?
No, we just did O-line. We're going to go offense.
Sticking with offense?
Because you like offense, so we're going to go offense. So at quarterback, I went with Joe Flacco.
Come on, dude. I know you're messing with me. I
just want to see your face. I'm sorry. You were serious for a second, though, man. It's cool.
I was waiting for you to back it up.
I thought about it. I was like,
come on.
I said I thought about backing it up just to mess with you. Not on real life, man. Big Ben is not even close.
Who's number 2, though? Actually, that could be a debate.
Well, between Flacco and Dalton, I feel.
Palmer? What about Palmer?
Palmer, too. But I think with Palmer, I saw a lot of his, I guess, more successful seasons were in AZ at the end of it. Whereas he still had some really good years in Cincy, but he had his crazy years in Arizona.
Flacco never showed the natural ability or just overall talent that Palmer had a few years that he had with the Bengals, but Palmer never did what Flacco did in the playoffs. So I would probably agree with you. I'd probably go Flacco too.
Well, in my argument, my whole debate with myself was Flacco I felt was the better playoff quarterback. Dalton was the way better regular season quarterback, though. But I don't even
see that as a debate.
Yeah, but
I'd put Palmer over Dalton probably. See, Dalton's got the longevity.
Dalton, absolutely.
Of averageness, though. I don't know if I like that.
For me, the only reason
you would agree Palmer's just the better quarterback, though.
Yeah, but we're not saying just the better quarterback. We're saying in the AFC North. That's the difference too. But then when I looked at my biggest thing when I check out Dalton is I feel like his numbers are inflated because of AJ Green. Like being able to watch him and play against him numerous times, you can just see the impact that AJ Green has taking an average or short to intermediate pass and making it something spectacular. But then on the stat sheet, it makes it look like Dalton threw for 300-400 yards. I'm like, that wasn't what was going on. It was AJ Green taking a 10-yard pass and going 50 with it. You know what I mean? So that was always my dilemma with him. I kind of looked at it kind of like with Matthew Stafford early in his career with Calvin Johnson. Like, he's just throwing something up. Calvin goes and jumps in triple coverage and makes a catch. I'm not giving Stafford credit for that. That's Calvin.
Yep.
So that was my whole thought process with that, man.
All right.
But who would you go with 2? So would you go Flacco at 2 then?
Oh, 2? Yeah, Flacco at 2 for sure. I don't think that's a debate. I think the debate's between Palmer and Dalton, depending on what you want. I just think Palmer's the better QB.
Okay.
But I could see the argument for Dalton spent more years, he's more consistent, was able to stay healthier.
And he's made the playoffs a couple times too.
Yeah, but did nothing though.
He still made it.
Palmer, there's still some unknown with his playoff success just because he was getting hurt. Like,
hey, it's not unknown now.
We took advantage of it.
It's not unknown now.
I know he did have a clunker down in AZ, one of those games. I think it was against Carolina. It was a terrible game on the road.
Now we'll go
running back.
No. We were going to go two wide receivers and a tight end.
Sure.
All right. Sure. So my 2 wide receivers, I had AB, I had Ocho Cinco, and then my tight end was Heath.
Okay. Wow. Wait, was I thinking 3? You know what? I wrote this down as 3 receivers. I'm sorry.
See, you would do some offense like that. 3 receivers.
I have 3 receivers because I remember my debate was between for the third receiver.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's what was going on. Why? Yeah, I don't know why I initially went through because we did 3 receivers with the Steelers.
Yeah, we did 2 running backs.
Maybe that's
because we didn't do a fullback. That's why though.
Maybe that's why. Yeah, maybe that's why I have it listed like this.
Did we do a flex? I don't think we did a flex either.
No.
Yeah,
we didn't.
Because I treated this like how they do the All-Pro stand and stuff like that.
Okay, so hold on. So you're sticking with 2 receivers?
Yeah, 2 receivers, tight end. I have a flex.
Oh man, could we add a third?
Add a third receiver? Why can't you use them as a flex?
Well, because my 3 receivers are AB, AJ Green, and Ocho Cinco.
Yeah, that's fine. Just move one onto a flex.
Yeah, but then I have a debate with the running back. You know what? No, I'll stick with those 3 as my. I'll stick with one of them as a flex. I'll stick with one of them
Who
as
you
my
moving?
flex.
That's the real question.
Huh?
Who you moving? AB?
No. AB's number 1 easily. I think I initially was surefire on AJ Green, but I didn't completely look at the stats between AJ Green and Ocho Cinco.
Because Ocho has the better stats.
You think?
I checked it out. He does.
I mean, AJ Green's got more Pro Bowls though. Ocho's probably just played longer.
No. It was only like a year difference in between it in terms of him in Cincinnati.
11, 12.
Yeah.
Okay, AJ Green's played 8 seasons.
And I think Ocho had 9. It was either 9 or 10 seasons in Cincy tops.
Okay, hold on. I'm looking it up right now. I apologize for this, but my real debate was between the third receiver. Mm-hmm. It was between Ocho and Hines Ward. Mm-hmm. So I think that could be a debate for the flex. Actually, I probably got 3 names that you could debate for that flex then.
Okay.
Do we want to say running back now?
Well, I'm just trying to hear you out on this.
Okay, 2002. Hold on. 1, 2,
who you going with between
4,
Ocho and
5,
AJ?
6, 7, 8, 9. You're right. 9.
Yeah, it was only a 1-year difference.
He does have some gaudy yard seasons there. Yeah, for sure.
That's what I'm saying, man. I think AJ has the recency bias right now, but when you look at the numbers, Ocho got him. And Ocho's a 6-time Pro Bowl, 2-time All-Pro. AJ doesn't have any All-Pros.
He doesn't have an All-Pro.
Doesn't have one All-Pro.
All right, so this is for me saying who's in my flex versus who's my receiver too. It don't matter. They're both on the team, so.
Oh, wow. We'll put AB at flex in. No. Disrespectful. All right, yeah.
Hell no. AB's one. Are you putting AB at flex?
I told you my receivers. I said AB and Ocho.
Okay.
There's no debate.
Did you say your flex yet?
Not yet. No, I'm going to get to that in a second.
Oh, my. I've revealed my hand too early here about what's going on in my mind. Can we just get to running back here and then maybe we could dissect this flex position? I think I'm going to stick with AJ Green, though. I mean, the numbers are there. I mean, he's on a Hall of Fame path right now.
Whose numbers are there? AJ's over Ocho's?
No, I'm just saying for the flex.
So AJ's your flex. That was your saying.
I think so. There's 3 I'm going through right here.
I know.
There's 3. You probably don't know you might know who the running back is. I don't know though.
All right, so we'll just go running back, fullback real quick, get it out the way.
I don't have fullback. Am I just gonna say Kreider because he was a Steeler guy?
I have Vontae Leach.
LaRon McClain was pretty good for the Ravens.
I put Vontae Leach because Vontae Leach 3-time Pro Bowl, 3-time All-Pro, all in Baltimore, man.
See, I wasn't thinking fullback. What did Kreider do? Can I even stick him in this spot?
All I'm gonna say is I checked all the fullbacks out, man. Ain't nobody had no numbers like Vontae, bro. In terms of the accolades, that's all I'm saying.
We got a Super Bowl champ for Kreider though here.
Vontae got a Super Bowl ring as well, man.
He was on the Ravens. Yeah. Vontae Leach.
Yeah, Super Bowl champ, 3-time Pro Bowl, 3-time All-Pro, and an absolute man.
Dude, Kreider led the way though for some good running with Vontae, the bus, and Deuce Staley even had a decent season for us.
Vontae was the best at his position for 3 years in a row, all in Baltimore.
Listen, yeah, he was still on the squad with Willie Parker even. Dude, I mean, I'm just gonna put Crider just for the namesake. I'm gonna be honest with you because I didn't look up the fullback thing.
Fair enough.
And I probably would say Crider no matter what, to be honest.
Because he's Pittsburgh. I got you.
Well, my cousin had a Crider jersey back in like 05, and we ripped on him like no other. So it brings back good memories. We were like,
so does Crider have any All Pros, any Pro Bowls?
Nah, but
okay, just checking.
Where did the All Pros and Pro Bowls come from though? Was that from his rushing stats?
No, Vontae, because he was just the best fullback in the league. It's kind of like when Rosie got.
I get you. But like I was thinking, LeRon McClain, he actually had some nice rushing stats here and there. Like they would get him the ball.
But I think the thing was with Vontae, he was a true fullback. You know what I mean? I mean, dude was like 6'2", 265. Like, yeah, he's on that. I'm trying to think who was the running backs in 2011 for the Raiders. Let me check real quick.
Let me look at McClain real quick before I make this. See McClain, 2-time Pro Bowl, 1-time All Pro.
He has Ray Rice in 11 with 1,300 yards. Then let's see, who did he have in 12?
Dude, LeRon McClain had 902 yards one year and 10 touchdowns.
That's a running back though.
Yeah,
that's
but
not a fullback.
Yeah, I know. But even the year after that, he only had 180 rushing yards. Still made a Pro Bowl.
Yeah, that's a running back. That's not a fullback.
No, he's a fullback. He's listed as a fullback.
With 100 touches?
I swear, 232 touches.
That is not a fullback. That's a what?
He's listed as a fullback. The other running, look at 2008. Who was 2008? Was that Rice? That might have been, no, that was probably Willis McGahee. They were doing like a combo back type of thing with those two.
Yeah, there was no like for example, when I look at
no, but he made it as a fullback.
All I'm saying is this: when you talk about fullback, Vontae Leach in his 3 All-Pro seasons, 3 first-team All-Pro, not second-team, first-team All-Pro 3 years in a row, 0 touches in 2010, 12 touches in 2011, 9 touches in 2012.
Well, you got to figure with how today's NFL is, and I think LeRon McClain might have been a little bit of throwback. You could get him the ball too. He could block and you can get him the ball.
I want my fullback to fullback. I want my running back to run.
He could fullback though too. Like I said, he only had 46 touches in 2009 and made a Pro Bowl. So
he just got 1 Pro Bowl?
He's got 2 Pro Bowl, 1 All Pro.
That's it?
Come on, man.
That's it?
That's pretty good, dude.
So we taking 1-time All Pro over a 3-time All Pro?
I remember.
You should take AJ Green over AB then if that's the case, man. What are we doing
I remember LeRon McClain. I don't remember Vontae Leach and what he did. I'm just being straight up with you. I remember McClain.
When Ray Rice, when the Ravens won the Super Bowl and Ray Rice went on his run for those like 2-3 years of being one of the top backs in the league, Vontae was his guy.
I kind of like having a back that's going to give me 902 yards and 10 touchdowns though.
So what is my running back doing if he's giving me all that?
No, it's just multifaceted. I could be running some spread offenses and stuff.
What?
Yeah, dude. Dual backs.
So you're running a spread offense with a running back and a fullback on the field?
I can have Ben back there. And, I mean, do we want to get to who our running back is? I'll have Ben.
Sure, go ahead.
You know what? I actually am. I'm going LeRon McClain over Crider now, actually, the more I think of it.
Okay.
So McClain over Crider. I got him. What does McClain
have? Did he have any All-Pros? Pro Bowls? What did he have?
I said two Pro Bowls,
I thought
1
you said
All-Pro.
Crider had that. Which one is which?
No, Crider just has 1 Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
And for the amount of time he was in, he was only on the Ravens for 4 years, so that's efficiency. That's a 50%. That's 2 Pro Bowls.
My guy was only here 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take the 902 rushing yards though.
Okay.
All right. So the running back then.
You want Le'Veon?
Yeah.
I went Jamal Lewis.
I figured, dude. I figured
you would go Le'Veon.
I was having a tough one with that.
I don't know where that came from.
Le'Veon's just better. He's the better back.
And how? Please tell me. Not as a rusher. The only thing you can say is as a receiver.
As a receiver, and
that's about it, man.
How much worse is he than as a rusher? Because I see a lot of Jamal Lewis's stats: 3.5 yards per carry.
How many 1,000-yard seasons did Le'Veon have?
What do you have? 3? He is. And if we're gonna go the whole All-Pro route with the fullback thing, Le'Veon's got the All-Pros where Jamal Lewis doesn't.
Jamal Lewis got a 2,000-yard season. Le'Veon's best season is what? How much?
That's cool.
What's his best season?
His best season, he has just about the same amount of all-purpose yards.
What's his best season as a rusher?
If we're talking about all-purpose yards.
I said as a rusher, what's Le'Veon's best season?
That's what I'm saying. Le'Veon's just the all-around better player.
I was just asking what was his best season. He's not the better runner.
His best season. Hold on, dude. Now I'm going all through this Pro Football Reference thing here. His best season was 14 with 1,361 yards. Hold on, dude. Hold on, dude.
That was it?
Hold on.
Oh,
1,361 yards on the ground plus 854 receiving.
Okay.
83 receptions, and he had 290 rush attempts.
Okay.
Now, if you look at the amount of attempts...
Let me hear this.
No. If you look at the amount of attempts that they got, or amount of touches, Le'Veon, man, do I have it written down?
Hold on. I can pull it up for you because we're going to talk just...
The amount of, if you combine the rushes and catches for Jamal Lewis in his best year, for the amount of rushes and attempts for Le'Veon in his best year, Le'Veon has less attempts, but it's only like a decent amount of less attempts. I'd say like 40 or 50. I think my math might be wrong there.
Okay.
But Le'Veon's only like 40 or 50 yards less total. And that's their best years. But if you look at all their other years, Le'Veon beats out Jamal Lewis. He just simply does.
Way? Le'Veon has 3,000-yard rushing seasons. 3. His best season he had 1,361 yards. Jamal Lewis has a 2,000-yard season, a 1,300, a 13. He got 3 1,300-yard seasons. Then he has 3,000-yard seasons. Then he has a 906-yard season. And then he has a 2K season. Like I said, man, it's not even close. What are we talking about here?
It's actually not close in Le'Veon's favor. I don't know where the yards per carry is with Jamal Lewis. It's just really not there for the most part throughout his career. He gets a ton of touches, and then his receiving's not there. You see, Le'Veon's got the receiving, and he's got the yards per carry outside of his rookie year.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking at Le'Veon.
3 Pro Bowls, 2-time All-Pros. The All-Pros obviously tell you that he was the best, if not
absolutely.
1 or 2 backs in the league, whereas Jamal Lewis doesn't have that.
No. So Jamal Lewis has 1 All-Pro. Le'Veon has 2 All-Pros. That's it.
Yep, just 1 and 3 Pro Bowls for Le'Veon.
And 1 has a Super Bowl championship and an offensive rookie of the year. Did you just say that? That's what you took McClain, right? Because he doesn't.
No, McClain doesn't.
Crider has.
I was gonna say that as a joke. I told you my cousin wore the Crider jersey and all that. I wasn't prepared as much for the fullback.
He has an offensive. I thought offensive rookie. No, he has an offensive player of the year. Oh, excuse me.
That was his 2,000-yard year. But
so where's Le'Veon's at?
They gave him the rock a lot that year, and
Le'Veon had 400 touches in back-to-back seasons. What are we talking about here?
And he's more efficient with his with what he does with it.
Stop it, bro.
I told you both their best years.
Out of control, man.
Le'Veon has less touches, but the amount of yard discrepancy is not much at all. So, dude, I'm taking back. I think Le'Veon's just the better back all around.
Give me a guy who gonna rush for 2 Gs.
I'll give you longevity. The only thing I can give you with him is he's been in the AFC North longer than Le'Veon.
Well, he's been more productive as well.
But I'm not going to completely hold that against Le'Veon.
I'm just saying he's been way more productive than Le'Veon. That's all I'm saying.
Because he signed with the Jets. No way,
he's been way more productive. Are you serious?
He's not been more productive.
Get out of here.
Not for the amount of years they've been there.
What?
Le'Veon has better efficiency in the yards per carry.
I'm not hearing none of that.
Plus, he has the receiving that Jamal Lewis just doesn't have. You could line up Le'Veon Bell as your second receiver.
Rushing yards per game. Rushing yards per game. What's Le'Veon's? What was Le'Veon's average?
How many times did Jamal Lewis get the ball?
What, bro? We talked about Le'Veon had 2 seasons back to back with 400 touches. That's getting the ball plenty enough, is it not?
Yeah, but not, all right. So are we just going to look at rushing yards per game, or are we going to look at the whole total?
Asking a question
because he does do the rushing and receiving. They give Jamal Lewis the ball a ton with the rushing, but they're not going to pass it to him much.
When you can just dominate as a runner, you don't need to catch the ball. Just run.
I don't see domination when you're averaging 3.5 and 3.6 yards per carry. So
when you get 2 Gs on the ground, that's not domination.
He had 1 good year, and I don't.
So what about the 13-27 to 13-64 to 13-04? What you mean he only had 1 good year? Come on, man.
I mean, from an optics standpoint, you like seeing the 2,000 yards as What
about the 1,300
rushing
yards?
number?
We like seeing the 1,300 rushing yards as well.
No. But I'm saying if you compare those 2 years, that year to Le'Veon's year, both their 2 years, Le'Veon's is arguably better.
No. Say that again.
Le'Veon's best year and Jamal Lewis's best year, that 2,000-yard year. It's nice. I get it from saying, 2,000 yards rushing. It's nice from the optics standpoint. But Le'Veon's year is arguably better just from a rushing and receiving standpoint.
How?
He was more efficient with his touches.
Bro, one was an absolute man.
Yeah, that's good. Man. That's good, dude. But I think Le'Veon's just the overall better player.
Not the better runner.
I'll take Le'Veon, dude.
You should put him at flex.
Huh?
You should put him at your flex or something.
No, is that what you're doing?
You should have put him at your flex or something. I don't know.
Is that what you're doing?
I'm just asking. So who'd you go with your flex then, man? Who is your flex?
I have AJ Green, man.
I got AJ Green as my flex, actually.
No Le'Veon.
No Le'Veon, man.
Really? I mean, you can't.
Who is he beating out?
You can't argue AJ Green's numbers, man, and just the longevity he's done it in the AFC North.
So you'll praise AJ Green for that, but then you won't praise Jamal Lewis for that. That's what I'm saying. That doesn't make sense.
He's done it better than Jamal Lewis. Like I said, the yards per carry is a little concerning, dude.
So this is my question. You just said you'll give AJ Green the nod at flex because of the longevity, right?
I mean, no, he's been like one of the best receivers in the league, though.
Yeah, but he's been doing it for a longer time as well, right?
Well, Jamal Lewis on the Browns, like he had that 1 year. I mean, there was
what?
maybe
it wasn't a 1 year.
There was a 2 to 3.
Listen, he only had 2 bad years.
No,
that would have been in 05. He had 900 yards rushing, and then in 09 when he had 500 that last year in Cleveland. He has a 1,300 yard season in Cleveland and a 1,000 yard season in Cleveland.
He has 4 years though with 3 yards per carry. That's just him getting a lot of touches.
4 years at 3 yards per carry. He also has what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years with over 4.3 yards per carry. He has 4.3, 4.4, 4.3, 4.4, or 5.3.
Yeah, so we're gonna consider those nice years. So that's 4 years.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years.
All right, 5 years.
Mm-hmm. So that's only 1,
Compared
2,
to AJ
3, 4. There were 3.6.
You compare that to AJ Green. I just think AJ Green's been better at his position for a longer sustained time.
AJ Green is even an all-pro at his position. What are you talking about?
Well, that's probably
when
robbery.
was AJ Green the best at his position?
That's probably robbery, though.
Who was he better than AB?
No, he's not.
Was he better than DeAndre Hopkins? Was he better than Julio Jones? Was he better than OBJ?
Hopkins, he probably was for a couple years.
Okay, was he better than OBJ?
Depending on when, because OBJ's been hurt.
Was he better than Julio?
No.
What are we talking about then? When was he the best at his position?
Dude, he's been top 3,
It's clear
man.
when Jamal Lewis was the best.
He's got 8 Pro Bowls. I mean, I'm not gonna knock that, dude. If Jamal Lewis had 5 Pro Bowls, then yeah, I'd put him over.
How many Pro Bowls Le'Veon got? 3?
He's got 3.
He got
2
3.
All-Pros.
And 2 All-Pros.
He's been hurt though, so I'm taking the high. I'm taking the high of Le'Veon. I just think he's the better player.
Okay.
And if you're going AJ Green versus Jamal Lewis, I think AJ Green's the better player at his position. Like I said, he was
never even the best player at his position.
He's done it over an extended period of time, and he's been great over an extended period of time.
So he's been more successful than Jamal Lewis.
Jamal Lewis has been a little bit more inconsistent. I told you about the yards per carry.
Where was the inconsistency at? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
He's been getting the ball a lot, but the yards per carry isn't there.
I'm trying to see where the inconsistency was, where the inefficiency. That's what I'm trying to see.
Yards per carry, it's as simple as that. You can get the ball a lot.
You can't be productive either.
Dude, Trent Richard, what the hell was his rookie year?
Trent was not even close. Don't even even disrespect that man like that, bro.
I'm just saying, you can get the ball a lot and put some yards up and some touchdowns if you get the ball a lot. That's
so you're funny, bro.
What? I'm just stating facts. I'm just stating facts.
You are funny. So Le'Veon's last year in with the Jets, that doesn't count. You just leaving that out.
It's not AFC North ball, dude.
So when we're looking at just particularly in the AFC North, he only has 3 seasons where he went over 1,000 yards.
It's unfortunate, but
no, it's not unfortunate. Those are facts.
I have the peaks of Le'Veon, and I just think he's a better player.
Boy.
You know, he just got lucky. Instead of going from Baltimore to another, instead of going from Baltimore to another team, he extended his career in Cleveland. Whereas, he's got those extra numbers in the AFC North.
Wow,
that's just why it looks better.
He has, even just in Baltimore alone, his Baltimore stats are still far and away better than Le'Veon's.
No.
Yes. No. Either way, you're gonna take So we say Le'Veon has 2 or 3 really good seasons in Pittsburgh, right? So
he got hurt though, dude.
I don't want to hear that. Jamal Lewis missed a year or 2 for injury. 01. Missed the whole season. At least Le'Veon played some games when he was hurt.
Yeah, but Le'Veon missed the year for sitting out. Are we holding that against him too?
What that got to do with us?
Huh?
What that got to do with this?
What do you mean?
What does that got to do with this?
Because both
you said injuries. I don't want to care about him sitting out. We talk about what he did. What has he done on the field?
All right. Well, he was sitting out because of injuries.
Okay, cool.
And he was completely efficient and great when he was on the field. Though.
Okay, but at the end of the day, how many seasons does he have that was good? He has 3, right?
Listen, dude, I'm not knocking Jamal Lewis for the 1,000-yard year. No, because he had 4.3 yards per carry. That was a good year. That was a good year. He's got good years, but he doesn't have the receiving that Le'Veon has.
And Le'Veon doesn't have the rushing that he has.
It's not far off. It's not far off.
Are you really about to say that?
Outside of the 2,000-yard year, if you look at the other seasons compared to Le'Veon's...
Wait a minute. Le'Veon has
other seasons outside of his best season?
So if Le'Veon's best year was the 1361, we'll throw that away, right? Because Jamal has 700 more yards than that, right? So
we got to throw out Jamal's 2003 2,000-yard year then.
That's what listen.
All right.
So if Le'Veon's best year is at 1,300 yards, Jamal Lewis has 1, 2, 3 1,300-yard seasons. I
thought we were just counting the Ravens.
It's AFC North. What are we talking about?
But you said initially we're just going with Ravens.
AFC North.
Just for the sake of that part of the conversation.
For the AFC North.
That's fine.
He has 3 1,300-yard seasons.
I'm not denying he's been in the AFC North longer than Le'Veon.
And then, okay. And then, all right, so say you throw away the 1361, right? And we'll throw away the 2K. 1261 and 1291. Jamal Lewis 1364, 1327. Got a Bando 900, 1100. That's all I'm saying, man. He's been a far better consistent player.
No, he hasn't.
Yes, he has, man.
Dude, because, the year Le'Veon got hurt, the 556, that was his final rushing yards for the. That was only in 6 games.
Correct.
That was actually a better yards per game than all of his
6 games, so it's not enough of a sample size. Come on, man, stop that. That's like you play 2 games, you rush for 150 yards and 130 yards. Now you're gonna tell me, oh man, he averaged 145, man, that look good. I'm not hearing that, bro.
I'm just saying, are we knocking the injury? Because we're not gonna knock him. If we're not knocking him for not being on the field in 2018,
did it not happen?
Then why are we knocking him for not being on the field in 2015?
I'm not knocking. All I'm simply saying is the number is skewed. Dude. That's all I'm saying. Huh? When you talk about Le'Veon's yards per game in that 15 season, the numbers are skewed because he only has a very, very small sample size.
We know he was the best back in the league. He's not. There's no way in hell he's dropping off. We saw what D'Angelo did.
We don't know that.
Come on.
So you can say D'Angelo was the best back in the league that year. You saw what D'Angelo did?
Give me a break.
Didn't D'Angelo have a 1,000-yard season?
No, we had Ben and we had AB.
So that helps D'Angelo, but we're not using the argument for L. Bell?
Huh? No, you don't do that because you've talked about how much of an impact Le'Veon Bell has made on defenses.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
We know how much of an impact.
Let's see who did. I'm trying to see who was. When we look at Jamal Lewis's team that year, who was his quarterback? Kyle Bowler?
It's a different league back then, dude.
Maybe he had some dope receivers.
Let me put it this way.
Who was his receivers?
He couldn't do what Le'Veon's doing. I think Le'Veon has a better shot of doing what Jamal Lewis did.
Doubt it.
I see the rushing yard. He's been able to do it on the ground.
Not nowhere near
Jamal Lewis can't catch or run the routes like Le'Veon Bell. There's no way.
Can't run the ball like Jamal.
I see the yards are up there.
Yeah, and you talk about the durability element of it as well, man. I see a lot of 16, 15.
I see a cheap shot from Perfect on Le'Veon. That's what I see.
I don't care. What about the other years?
What do you mean, dude?
You got 6 games there, 13 there, 12 there.
13. That was before his rookie year.
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. That boy got some 15, 16, 15, 16, 15, 16. You talk about durability? And you said he's a volume carry guy. He's getting a lot of touches on top of that. Durability.
Not efficient with it, though.
Durability.
Just not efficient.
He's just running through people.
Le'Veon's more efficient. He's just a better player all around.
Jamal Lewis led a team to a Super Bowl.
He didn't lead them, dude. The defense was awesome.
What?
He's a part of it. Good for him.
Get out of here, man.
Good for him. Good for him. That
Jamal
defense
Lewis
was
led
incredible.
that team to a Super Bowl, man.
That defense was incredible.
Jamal Lewis led them to a Super Bowl, man.
Nah, that's like
Jamal Lewis led them to the Super Bowl, bro. We know this, man. It's cool, bro.
It's just not true.
He did, though.
He's not talked about leading the team to the Super Bowl. It's the defense. You know that defense was incredible.
He led them to the Super Bowl.
He's a good running back. I'm not knocking him.
He's a great running back.
Le'Veon's just better. That's all.
I don't understand how you figure that. How do you come to that conclusion?
Told you, he's the better running back.
You could say he's the better flex because he does all the catching and all the other stuff, but he's not a better running back.
The only thing you have, running backs just getting the ball in the end zone and helping the team win.
Oh, we talking about getting into the end zone as well.
But he does have the rushing. I told you that. I mean, the rushing yards are comparable, and he does it in a more efficient way.
Comparable? How are you saying it's comparable when it's not comparable, bro?
Outside of the 2,000-yard year, I mean, he's only getting 1,300 yards, and Le'Veon was getting that 1,300 yards.
You know, he only did it twice. Don't say he's getting that. He's only did it twice in his career.
I told you, dude. It's just the amount of time. What are we talking about? The thing Jamal has is the amount of time in the AFC North.
And the amount of times of being dominant in the AFC North as well.
Dominant, dude. I don't know about that. Le'Veon was dominant.
On the ground isn't dominant.
Le'Veon
He was playing against the Pittsburgh Steelers. We talked about how awesome the Pittsburgh Steelers defense is.
Times were different then. They just gave the ball to running back that way.
So time out. So the Steelers ain't have a good defense back then? Huh? So the Steelers ain't have a good defense in 08?
In 08?
Yeah, he had 1,000 yards that year as well on the ground. He ain't have a good. The Steelers have a good defense in 07.
3.6 yards per carry.
Did the Steelers have a good defense in 07?
I never felt like on the Browns he was an elite running back. Never did.
All right, so during 06, 04, Steelers ain't have a good defense then either, huh?
Dude, I don't know. What does that have to do with anything?
I'm just asking because he's playing in the AFC North. We talk about how the AFC North is the black and blue division. It's hard nosed. Yeah, it's built on defense and running backs.
Bell has gone up against great defenses too.
I'm just saying his numbers ain't look like this. That's what I'm saying.
What do you mean?
His numbers ain't look like that.
I told you, Bells are better, dude.
Hey, whatever you say. We can agree to disagree on
that. I'd say so. I mean, yards per attempt, and like I said, with the receiving element that Bell brings, just the overall better player.
Sounds like a flex to me. All right, cool.
Nah, dude. Nah, actually, I mean, my team could kind of be stacked that way, but no, I'm good.
My team would trash your team.
I'm good with AJ Green. I'm good with AJ Green.
My team would absolutely trash your team.
AJ Green over Jamal Lewis.
Yeah.
I'm good
My
with
team
that.
would for certain trash your team.
All right, so what do we got on defense?
I went with a 3-4. What did you run with?
I put extra positions just in case.
So I have a 3-4 with a flex essentially.
Hold on. Let me pull it up. I have 4 for both. So what are we doing? We're 3-4 then?
Yeah, I was gonna go 3-4 and then a flex, dude.
Okay. I think we'll probably agree with. Can we kind of flex the position then?
Yeah, when I said like a flex, I just said just like it could be whatever, a linebacker, D lineman, safety, whatever.
I'm thinking for the three part, like the 3 down linemen. Here's my 4 guys, and I'll just say my top 3 of the 4. Because I
don't even know what you're about to name
all right
now.
Hold on. All right. This is the down lineman. So Cam Hayward, Geno Atkins, Haloti Ngata. And my 4th was Carlos Dunlap.
Okay.
So if we're running the 3-4, I'd take Carlos Dunlap out, assuming that Geno Atkins or Ngata could play the outside of a 3-4.
Okay.
Could one of them do that?
Yeah, I don't have an issue with that.
Okay.
I think for me, the way I had it, I have Geno Atkins, Haloti Ngata, and then Casey Hampton as my nose.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I would do that. I would do that then. If we can do that, then yes, I will do that.
So then who you taking out there?
I'm taking Hayward out then for sure. I'm doing the exact same thing. All right. I wasn't, because I was considering between Hampton and Atkins and Ngata for my 2 nose tackle spots, but I bumped Hampton out. Yeah. But you're saying if I could do that, then yes, I would definitely do that.
For sure. So we good right there.
I agree with you on that.
And then for the 4 linebackers, I went Suggs, Debo, and then Ray Lewis and Ferrier.
I have the same linebacker.
Get out of here, man.
I thought we were going to disagree on linebacker.
Wow. I thought you could go Peasy or something, man. I'm not going to lie, man.
No, instead of Harrison?
Yeah. Well,
no.
Yeah, because I just didn't know what you was thinking with
it,
man.
Dude, because I have Harrison on my all-time Steelers.
Cool.
I have Harrison there. Obviously Lewis and Suggs. Yeah. My question mark was between Ferrier. Mm-hmm. I was thinking Timmons.
I thought Timmons
and I was thinking Mosley, actually.
I thought Mosley, too. I just can't do Mosley.
Mosley's tough. It's just kind of what you want, because Ferrier, I mean, he was like a defensive leader on those championship teams. Like, I don't want to completely go off the rails and say, he's this guy that can band the group together and just brings that X factor. But at the same time, he kind of can, and he has the stats to back it up. Yeah, like there was something to those Super Bowl teams that he was a definitive leader. He wasn't the best. You obviously had Polamalu, right? Who I mean, he was in the mix though. He was in the mix for probably the top 4 or 5 players on that defense. Yeah. And he was a leader there. He was, you have to be kind of as a middle linebacker. True. 2 Pro Bowls, so the stats are all there, and he was very much in play for those Super Bowl runs as a leader on our defense. So
see, I thought Ferrier. I looked at Timmons. I said Timmons didn't have enough of the Pro Bowls, All Pros. I looked at C.J. Mosley, and I even thought about my dog Shea. But then I was like, I just felt like Shea's ear wasn't long enough. And then for C.J. Mosley, that was always the debate too when we were all playing together. Mosley versus Shazier, and I'm like, I would never say Mosley over Shazier on any list. It's just never gonna happen. That'd be the ultimate black and go homer. I don't care. Mosley could be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I'm like, give me Shea. Period. That's just how I feel about it.
Okay.
So then from there, I was like, all right, if I'm gonna compare Shazier to Ferrier, I do feel that Ferrier has had the more success. And I think if we were talking, Shea would be more of a projection of what could have been versus what Ferrier, we know this is what he did do. So, and you look at the fact that he has the individual accolades along with the big win, as you like to call it, in terms of getting the ring, man.
Yeah, I think that helps. It helps some. I mean, it doesn't have to be the end-all, be-all, but like I said, his stats are there, very much so. He's made 2 Pro Bowls and was a leader for our defense. So, yeah, I like Ferrier as the other inside linebacker along Ray Lewis. I think
we're going to agree with this. At the safety position, I got Troy and Reed. It should be... Unless you want Earl Thomas and
I was
Minka.
thinking Minka, yeah.
I think you would go Earl and Minka. I just never know with you sometimes, man.
Nah. Cornerbacks, though, I think this should be easy.
We're going to see. You're going to say Ike and Joe, huh?
Joe Hayden and McAllister.
Oh, you went McAllister?
Yeah, who's the other option?
I went Joe and Pac-Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't think about McAllister. That's a good one, though.
I'm surprised.
I like McAllister,
dude.
bro.
I think I got you on McAllister over Pac-Man.
Bro, first off, you never got me, man. You still trying to tell me that Le'Veon is better than Jamal Lewis. You don't have me at all.
He is.
Get out of here.
I think you're thinking you want to go McAllister over
Not
Pac-Man.
a chance,
Dude, you could
man.
change your mind.
Not a chance. I've been a Pac-Man guy.
You could change. I am too. I think he's definitely really good.
No,
But
I'm like Pac-Man to the core. Like, it's just cool little thing about me. It's not a lot of people I get starstruck over and be like fanboy,
No way.
right? When I signed here in 2014, I couldn't wait because I've been a Pac-Man guy since he got drafted out of W. Was in Tennessee. Then he went to the Cowboys. Like, I love his game. And because back home, some of us are a little rough around the edges. I like the fact that he'll ball on Sunday, but then he get a little janky off the field as well, man. And he had one of the most epic rants going at Jerry Porter. I don't even like Jerry Porter. Now, that's not Joey, because Peasy, that's my boy. Me and Joey, like, that's my mans. But Jerry Porter, I can't stand Jerry Porter. And Pac-Man don't like Jerry, so we on the same, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We can align like that. And you saw the two-piece Conway gave that dude in the airport. Man, I can't help myself. I'm a Pac-Man guy, so Pac-Man's on my list, baby.
Dude, I like Pac-Man too.
I was so hyped in 2014, bro. When I came here, we got a chance to play Cincinnati, bro. And I seen Pac-Man. I was like, yo, I can't wait to say something slick to Pac-Man. See if he gonna say like, I'll whoop your tail. I'll smack you. I just couldn't wait, man. It didn't live up to the same expectation, but I was hyped though either way.
Dude, I like the Pac-Man pick. Bro. I just think McAllister's better. I got 3 Pro Bowlers. I got 1 time All-Pro. So now
you want to talk Pro Bowls and all that stuff. I said this about Jamal Lewis. You act like that don't matter. Okay, cool.
Well, Le'Veon's were better though.
Le'Veon don't have an AP All-Pro. A player of the year. Excuse me.
No, but he is 2-time All-Pro.
Yeah, Jamal Lewis is the best player in the league. That counts way more than any of the other stuff you talking about.
Oh man,
what are we talking about?
Bell was able to do it for more years.
No, he wasn't.
He was able to. Yeah, he was.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was.
No, he wasn't.
2-time All-Pro, 3-time Pro Bowler.
Where's his player of the year at? When was he ever the best in the league?
If you want that, I just don't want that.
For me, you talk about. I'd rather take your 1 year being just out of this world than the longevity.
But I told you, I think that year's arguable to Le'Veon. I really do.
It's not because Le'Veon wasn't the best player on the team that year. You taking him over Ben? Over AB?
You're using myself against
Let me hear this. Yeah, let me hear this one.
You're using myself against
me. Let me hear this one.
Come on, dude.
Was Le'Veon the best player on offense that year?
He was an important part of the offense.
Was he the best player on offense that year?
Team and he was important.
No. Jamal Lewis was the clear-cut best player on offense, best player in the league, which is why he was the player of the year. Now, what I want to know
for 1 year, but Le'Veon's better, and I told you that year was arguable.
Le'Veon
to Jamal
ever
Lewis's.
The best player on offense in Pittsburgh?
Dude, but there's arguments that people would say.
No. What would you say though?
You know what I would say.
So you're saying that he wasn't the best player on his own team?
I don't know what that matters though.
It matters a lot.
Was Jerry Rice the best player on his team?
I think he had some years where he was.
You know, it happens.
AB had some years where I thought AB was the best player on the team.
You could say the same thing about Marvin Harrison, Randy Moss with Tom Brady. Who's the best player on the team?
Randy Moss.
No, they're great players. I'm not going.
Oh, okay. Convenient.
Randy Moss over Brady. Come on, man.
That year, yeah.
1 year. Brady had 50 touchdowns though.
Okay, cool.
Come on, dude. Brady.
So you're telling me Le'Veon was never the best player on this team?
Some people would say that.
No. I said you, not some people.
I'm really biased towards Ben, dude.
No, but you on the mic.
I'm really biased. I'm always going to say
what you going to say then.
I'm always going to say Ben runs.
All right, then. So there you have it then. All right, so Le'Veon was never the best player on. Was he the second best player on offense?
Nah, dude, I'm not letting you go.
Was he ever the second best player on offense?
I'm not letting you do that.
Was he ever the second best player on the offense?
Just because I'm emotionally tied in one way.
I said second best. Second best. We got our first. Okay, second best on this team.
Yeah, dude.
So he was better than AB.
I don't know. They're both amazing. They're both amazing.
He was better than AB.
No.
When?
Come on.
Was he better than AB? Yes or no?
Come on, dude. Was he better than AB? Yes, I'm just not doing this because it has nothing to do with this. It has nothing to do with this. Because if we're going Randy Moss versus Jamal Lewis, like I said, Jerry Rice versus Jamal Lewis, other great players.
I'm just simply asking you. Jamal Lewis is clear-cut the best player in the league.
Marvin Harrison versus Jamal Lewis. Who's the best player on the field? Obviously, it's Peyton Manning. Obviously, it's Tom Brady.
No, it's not.
Arguable with Rice and Montana.
So my question is this. Who all were the quarterbacks in 03? Was Ben? No. Ben wasn't in it. No, not Ben.
04
I'm trying to think. This was what season was that? That was 03 season, right?
03 we had Maddox. And we were sucking it up. We were 6-10 that year.
I'm trying to see who all the quarterbacks were in 03
I think that was Palmer's rookie year. I don't know if he ended up playing, and I think the Browns probably had Tim Couch.
Yeah, let me see.
And then Ravens quarterback. Jeez, oh man. might have been Kyle Bowler at that point.
Oh, Steve McNair, Peyton Manning. Ooh.
Was that 03?
Yeah.
Steve McNair won co-MVP that year.
Co-MVP. Ooh.
Wait, so is this going against you now? This is going against you, dude. I can't believe you did that to yourself.
That's not going against me.
He just won co-MVP. Who was the best player on offense?
Well, no. It's a difference between MVP and Offensive Player of the Year.
Come on, dude.
What do we? Drew Brees won Offensive Player of the Year. Mahomes won MVP. It's a difference.
You want an MVP. You want someone that's more valuable.
I want somebody that's the best player on offense.
I can't believe
He's the best player on offense, bro.
I can't believe the whole boomerang effect there.
He was the best player on offense.
McNair won a co-MVP though, dude.
Yeah.
So at least it's arguable.
Something like, where does McNair have to do with Jamal Lewis?
Just like you saying the whole thing with Bell, Ben, and AB. Yeah. Those guys don't have anything to do with Bell for this conversation.
Yeah, they do. You know why they do? Because they all were the best on offense during that season.
You could say McNair. He won an MVP.
Bro, McNair wasn't playing with Jamal Lewis.
Huh?
McNair was with the Titans.
What? Why'd you say McNair?
I said he was I said that year in 03, McNair
because he did play on the Ravens.
MVPs. Yeah, but he didn't do it then.
God,
no. That's what I was like, what are you talking about, man?
I look like
what you talking about, man? You know, boom.
Wow.
Why are you tripping?
He played on the Ravens.
He wasn't doing it then, though. Not in 03.
I think you did that on purpose, dude.
I just wanted to see what you was going to say.
Nah, dude, you did it on purpose, man.
No, man. That year there was co-MVPs in terms of Steve McNair and Peyton Manning.
He did have a good year. He did have a good year with the Ravens, though.
Yeah, but what year was that, though? That would have been... That was 06, 07.
Jeez, dude.
Yeah, 06 was the good year. 07, he got hurt. He only played 6 games.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I look like a fool there.
It's cool, man.
But at the same time, I still stand by what I'm saying. I don't think that has to do with anything with Le'Veon Bell.
Like you just said, it has everything to do with a boomerang effect, man. Just roll with it, bro.
No.
Just roll with it, bro. Just roll with it. That's cool.
I didn't really care about that.
You did care. That's why you said it.
I did.
You took pride. Just thought you even set up. You was like, I can't believe you just said that to you. So he was the co-MVP.
Because I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. That's all. I don't think it means anything. I think if you're a great player, you're a great player.
I think you need the accolades to back it up, though.
Bell's got the accolades, dude.
He was never the best player in the league.
All right, that's 1 year, and people are voting on that. I'll take Le'Veon over Jamal Lewis. I'm starting to think.
So all I'm asking is, was Le'Veon ever the best player on the Steelers? The best offensive player on the Steelers?
I don't know what that has to do with it.
It has everything to do with
the better running back.
Because I want the guy that was the best person in the league at least 1 year. You talk about this. Remember, you said you would take Zeke over. I forgot which all-time back we said, because you said Zeke has the 3 or 5 years of just a short term going crazy versus the longevity.
But Le'Veon has that too. That's what I'm not.
He doesn't. He has a short term. He has 3 amazing years
of being the best back in the league.
Well, people would debate. Was it Zeke or was it Todd Gurley? People would debate.
I'm taking Bell.
I'm just saying people would debate.
When are we having this debate with Jamal Lewis outside of 1 year? Le'Veon's done it for more.
Whoa, no. It was plenty of years when people debated if Jamal Lewis was the best running back
even
in the
the year
league.
he got injured, you still say Le'Veon was the best.
Jamal Lewis is the best person on a Madden game as a running back. Also, when was Le'Veon ever the best running back on a video game? Man?
I don't know what that has to do with. I just want Le'Veon. I just think he's a better player,
that's cool,
hands
man.
down.
I'm just saying my team would smash your team. That's all.
No way, man. I got LaRon McClain and Bell in the backfield now.
And I got Vontae Leach and Jamal Lewis. It's not even close.
I'm running a little spread offense.
I'm not worried about it. I'm running right down your throat. It's a difference.
Our defenses are evenly matched. I think the X factor is Pac-Man versus McAllister.
Yeah, my guy's gonna win that one.
No way.
And he's gonna beat him up off the field, so I'm winning either way.
I got the top cornerback on a Super Bowl championship defense, an all-time defense.
That's cool.
And 3 Pro Bowlers, 1-time All-Pro.
Cool.
Pac-Man's got a All-Pro and a Pro Bowl.
That's cool.
So I'll take McAllister.
And who's your flex? You got a flex?
On defense now?
Yeah, did you have a flex?
Jeez, man.
The all-pro teams got flex. Remember, it was Tyrann Matthews, Pat P, and somebody else. Jamal Adams, maybe?
Dude.
They had like all these flex positions, man.
Wow. I didn't think of flex.
I mean, you said Dunlap. You got Hayward, you said. They didn't make your list. You said CJ Mosley's another guy didn't make your list. Pac-Man didn't make your list. You got options, man.
I'd love to have Minka as a flex, to be honest with you. That'd probably be, from a team standpoint, he hasn't been in the AFC North for long, just 1 year. Could this just be a fun pick then?
Man, make who you want to make it. I'll tell you mine. Then you go after that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
take the pressure off.
I went Cam Hayward. I said, man, you got the longevity, you got the All Pros, you got the Pro Bowls, you got the numbers, you got everything to back it up. I thought Dunlap, but I don't like Dunlap because I'm a Steeler. So Dunlap doesn't make my list.
Well, Hayward's more accomplished than him anyway. He is. Just two
different positions. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, in terms of accolades and everything.
2 different positions. People, you don't compare Dunlap to Hayward. Hayward is compared to Geno Atkins. That's who.
That's more
his
fair.
direct.
Yes.
And yeah,
they both play the defensive end position technically, but in different schemes.
D&D tackles. So yeah.
All right. I'm not even looking at stats. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go with the fan favorite here. I think people are gonna like this. I'm gonna go TJ Watt.
All right. You can't go wrong with TJ. You can't go wrong with Big Watt. You can't go wrong with that.
I'll go with the accolades. I'll go with borderline defensive player of the year. I'll go with all that. So
I like it.
I'll go with TJ Watt.
I like it. You want to get into special teams returner?
Tucker. I don't know about punter.
So I went Tucker.
Punter? I'll go with your punter.
Sam Cooch. I think that's how you said the punter. He's been in Baltimore for like 10 years. All pros, all that good stuff.
Okay, sure.
But my returners, I was excited about this. My kick returner.
Hold on. I got to take a guess here. I don't think there's anyone on the Steelers that sticks out.
You're
going Randall L? You going AB?
What are you talking about? For my returners?
A kick returner, yeah.
My returners.
Yeah.
Kick returners, Josh Cribbs.
Shit. That's a good one.
It's not even a debate, baby. Okay. It's Josh Cribbs. And then my punt returner, it's A4, man, Mr. AB, Mr. Big Chest. Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Okay. That's a good return spot.
Even though I looked at the numbers, Pac-Man is close and Cribbs is close as returners. The difference was AB has one more return touchdown than them. It's the only thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Those
are good. I'll go with those returners too.
All right.
I will go with those returners.
Who's your coach? Harbaugh?
Tomlin. I got to be consistent with
I thought you would go Cowher.
Nah, I'll go Tomlin.
I'm just saying, Cowher doing that span.
Nah, his stint was shorter in the AFC North, technically.
Yeah. I'm just saying from 02 to 08. Or excuse me, 02 to 07. You look at what he did
06, then. Yeah, just 4. But I'll take Tomlin.
He got a Super Bowl in there. Got an AFC Championship game in there.
If we're gonna go Tomlin's career versus Cowher's career, that's more of a debate. I'll take Tomlin over the duration of the AFC North.
Okay.
So are you taking Harbaugh?
Well. Absolutely, I went Harbaugh. Dude, come on, what are we talking about here, bro? Tomlin's my guy.
Okay, I'm good with that. I'm so distraught over that McNair. Like I feel like just an idiot.
You deserve it because you said L. Bella with Jamal Lewis at running back. So I don't want to hear it. And you said McLean over Vontae Leach at fullback. So just take it. I want you to wear it. Just walk around and just wear that all day. I want you to think about Vontae Leach and Jamal Lewis just running down your throat. We running power. Right downhill. Power.
I like those picks.
Power. Actually, dive. Belly.
Dude, let's leave it up for people to discuss and comment about.
Fair enough, man. You're right.
We'll do that, but I think people are like actually starting to hate me for liking the Steelers. Honestly, people are getting like pissed at me.
No, they're not. I
swear to God, dude. I did that. I was talking fantasy with my one buddy. Because we're just trying to do some random shit. And just talk some fantasy and stuff. And we talked about sleepers. I said Big Ben's a sleeper this year.
I think so. Yeah.
Because he's ranked. He's ranked outside of the top 10 for fantasy football, and he, in my opinion, he could end up being a top 3, top 5 guy at the end of the year. So that would
risk, high reward. I like
constitute a sleeper. Yes, but I'm throwing out this video. Oh, dude, you just won't stop with the bias, will you?
What?
Like, I'm serious, dude. I'm like,
hey, but the good thing is this though. If they watched you enough to say that you got bias, that means they are really tuning in. That means they're fans of you, man.
Maybe.
So that's a good thing, bro.
I don't think it's a bad thing. No, not at all. Not at all.
Hey, it could be worse. They tell me I'm bitter with the organization.
No, you're right.
Or they say I don't like Tomlin because of my career. I'm like, you realize Tomlin helped me make the most money in my life? I love Coach Tomlin. It's not even close. They say I'm a Ben hater. I'm like, wait, Ben gave me more victories and more money than ever in my life. I'm like, what? If it weren't for Ben leading us to these playoffs, baby. Hey, I don't get what I get. I don't get this nice. It's a lot. It's a lot. Trust me. It's one thing. If you want to talk about me hate, baby, it's teams that I hate. It's players that I don't like. You ain't gonna name a Steeler that I played with between 14 and 17 that I don't absolutely love because it changed my life, baby. It did.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is if we put this out, there might be people that agree with me on Bell, but I just got a feeling now there's something going on where people are like, man, you're biased. You're just picking Bell. So
we'll see, man.
I could see people agreeing with you, but
either
you know
way,
what?
Guess what? They still gonna be tuning in.
They'll be tuning in. I think Bell's the right answer, though. So
we're gonna find out soon enough.
The haters should come at me.
In fact, I'm gonna be in the comment section this time on YouTube too. I feel it, bro. Because I usually don't be in the comment section. On which
one?
When we post this, Jamal Lewis,
one?
L. Bell.
Okay.
Jamal Lewis, L. Bell. I'm in the comment section. Believe that.
All right.
You know, y'all gonna see my name popping up. Arthur Moats.
Should I get in there too? Then
I'm in there. I'm just like, I'm in there, bro.
I might need to get in on it too.
Usually I don't be. I usually don't get in the comment section. I'll watch them. I might look at them, but I don't like to dive in. It's kind of like the mosh pit. It's like, no, I ain't trying to get in that one. For this one, I'm jumping in here first.
Okay.
Yep. Just throwing it out there.
That's funny. Why this one?
I don't know. I just feel it. I feel like I need to get in the comment section one time. You know
Football
what I mean?
Season's getting closer.
Yeah, I'm getting that itch, man.
Okay.
I'm getting in the comments this time, bro. I feel it. I'm stamping it now. So yeah, we're good.
All right, dude. Well, I'm looking forward to all this, the content and the aftermath. I hope you guys.
The aftermath.
I hope you guys enjoyed listening to the podcast. And until next time.
Peace. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm extremely excited about this next guest here. I'm a big race guy. I'm a racing fan now, man. I told you, man, ever since the coronavirus thing happened and sports stopped, I got into racing. And when we talk racing, man, we got this guy right here. You name it, he's raced it. He's done IndyCar. He's done NASCAR. He's done Truck Series. I mean, whatever series it is, he's been driven in it. He's a bad man. He was also the first African American to have tested a Formula One car and racing the Indianapolis 500. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Willy T. Ribbs.
Hello, gentlemen. Hello from Texas.
I like it. Man, first off, how have you been handling everything right now, man? Obviously, this COVID thing is crazy. You been staying safe out there?
Yeah, well, I live out on a ranch, so there's not, you don't have to put a mask on.
I like it.
And the only thing that's looking at you are squirrel and deer.
Hey, socially distancing. I like it, man. The best way to do it.
Yeah, no, it's been no problem. You just follow the rules and, be smart as you can.
Absolutely. Now, just tell me a little bit, man, to start out. How did you even get introduced to racing? And when did you know you wanted to make a career of it?
Wait a minute. You haven't seen the movie Uppity yet?
Oh, I've seen it, but I don't know if all my listeners and viewers have. That's the only thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, okay. I was.
Well, I was about to say, first off, Uppity is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. First off, Uppity was dope. We were actually talking about it before you came on. But like I said, for the listeners who haven't seen it or the viewers who haven't seen it, we wanted to give them a chance to let you tell it.
I grew up in racing. My dad raced as a hobby. The family business was very successful, so he could afford to buy race cars and travel around the country competing. Now, he didn't do it as a pro; he did it as an amateur because the family business took up all his time. So that was my introduction to racing, traveling with my dad, and growing up in it, because he was actually racing before I was born. On motorcycles, and then once I was born, he and got a little older, he moved to race cars. So that was my introduction to the sport and my introduction to my career.
I like that. And now, when we talk about your career, when it started out, I mean, obviously you had your big beginning with Formula Atlantic. For the people that don't know, that's the equivalent of the Indy cars, which you see in Formula One racing. So just talk about, why did you start with the Indy cars versus the traditional stock cars?
I wasn't interested in stock car racing mainly because it was NASCAR, and I knew the history of NASCAR and the treatment that Wendell Scott received, which was absolutely horrible. And so I wasn't interested in stock car racing. What I was interested in was Formula One. And I knew that in order to be a Formula One driver, you had to go to England and or Europe to start your career. So I, right out of pretty much a year after high school, 2 years after high school, I went to England and lived in London, won my first championship in England in the Formula Ford Championship, which is It's a smaller formula than it's a junior formula. It's like it would be like in baseball. It would be like little league or
like the minors and stuff.
Yeah, minor leagues. That's correct. So that's where I started, and I did real well. And I wanted to stay over there in England, and eventually go to Formula One. But the family, they informed me that I had to come back home because I had some sisters and brothers that had to go to college, and they weren't going to let me spend up their college money.
Now, I have a question about Muhammad Ali. It was mentioned in the documentary that you guys had a relationship, but I was reading online that there was an interesting story behind how you guys met. Would you be able to talk about that story? It had to do with running, and then just, I guess, how your relationship evolved from then, and what kind of lessons you've learned, and what type of lessons you like to share with people from Ali.
Well, I mean, first of all, Ali was probably a greater human being and had great character than he was a fighter. He was a very, very determined, very strong, courageous, true to his word, and that to me was bigger than his talent as a boxer. He was just an incredible human being in terms of just his stature and his will and his principles. Okay, he wouldn't sell out. He wouldn't keep quiet because he was worried about losing money or losing commercial value. He spoke up when it needed to be spoke up, and he believed in right and wrong. And the way we met, I was racing over there, and a British journalist called me and said that Muhammad Ali was coming to London, and we'd like to get a picture of you and him together. So I knew he was at the London Hilton. They told me he was staying at the London Hilton. So I also knew that he ran every morning at 6 a.m. So I waited up. I went into London, went to jazz club and hung out all night. And then I went back to his hotel and waited in the lobby for a couple hours. I got it to the hotel about 4 a.m. And sure enough, at 6 o'clock on the dot, the elevator opened and he walked out in a tracksuit.
Wow.
And and no one with him, just by himself. And the lobby was empty. I was sitting there, and so I got up as he walked past me. He didn't even look at me. He walked past me, and I said to him, "Could I run with you?" He said, "No." I said, well, I waited up all night to run with you. You shouldn't have done that. I said, well, I did. And so he said, okay, but run behind me. So I ran behind. For about first 10 minutes, he didn't say anything. And then he looked back as we were running. He says, what's the black boy over here doing over here from America? I said, well, I drive race cars. And that's why I'm here. You don't drive race cars? Nobody black drives race cars, especially over here. I said, this one is, and I'm winning. So he says, you ever get scared? And I said, you ever get scared of Joe Frazier? He stopped. I'll knock you out right here in Hyde Park. And that was, and he started laughing, and we kept running. And after we ran, it was about half an hour. We walked back to the hotel, and he says, and I was done. I didn't think there was going to be any more. The media wasn't there. So he said, you hungry? I said, yes, sir. Well, come up and have breakfast. That was it. That's how it started.
Wow. I like the determination though, man. Waiting up all night, getting there and going on a run with them. Major respect. Now, you had a very unique initial introduction to NASCAR in the 1978 year that didn't necessarily go as planned. But after that, you still decided to come back and give NASCAR another go in 1986. So can you just talk about what went into the thought process of coming back to do that?
Well, in 1978, I was at Talladega, and it was the first NASCAR race I'd ever been to. And I was actually brought to the track by a former driver who wanted to introduce me to the other drivers and introduce me to people. And when I got there, people were spitting around my feet. They were just literally walking by and spitting, I don't know, a couple of feet from where I was standing. And I made it clear that wasn't going to fly. So I made some statements that they didn't like, and so that ended it. I didn't race. They didn't like me. I was tagged Uppity. That's where the term came from. So in 1986, that's after I was dominating Trans Am and I was winning nearly every race I was in. I got invited by a team to come back and run in 86. And the team, as soon as I came on the team, the sponsor left.
Oh, man.
The sponsor left. And so the owner, who was a wealthy guy, but not enough to run a full season, we ran 3 races. The team ran out of money and ran out of engines. And our engines were, they were mysteriously blowing up after 3 laps.
Jeez.
So mysteriously. And so I only did 3 races in NASCAR Winston Cup. And then I, came back and back and raced a different championship and kept winning.
Now, and that was the thing too, when you watch Uppity, you can see where you're talking about some of the cars and just the funding versus, the bigger, I guess, manufacturers and what do you even call them? Like the Roches and the Ford plants, stuff like that, where you didn't necessarily have the most money behind your teams, but you were still able to hang with and beat a lot of these guys. So I always thought that was impressive. But
well, when I raced for Roush in Trans Am and I raced for Dan Gurney and IMSA, I won, right? I won. And I won consistently. But that's when I was with teams on a level playing field.
Right.
And, there's a saying in racing, if your competitor has 1,000 components and you have 999, you're at a disadvantage. That's how, especially at the top level. And when I came into IndyCar, Bill Cosby was my sponsor. Bill put up all the money. Bill didn't even like racing. He didn't want to go. Only time he watched it is when I was racing. But he put up the money, but it wasn't nearly the money that we needed to compete on a level playing field. And the corporate sponsors in the sport, the sponsors of auto racing, did not support us at all.
Now, how difficult was that for you adjusting? Because I know you talked about doing the Indy car and the stock cars. I mean, almost back to back, it seemed like, between those years and stuff. So how difficult was that for you to adjust between the two cars?
It's easy. I mean, if you look at the great drivers from the past, whether it was Mario Andretti or Bobby Unser or AJ Foyt, they could drive anything. That's what I wanted to be capable of doing, whether it was driving on a Formula One car, driving a Trans Am car, driving an Indy car, driving a stock car. The great drivers could win in anything. You just make adjustments. I mean, driving a Formula One car is like, for example, slow dancing with Twiggy as opposed to slow dancing with Oprah, which is a stock car, right?
Okay.
Right. Yeah,
I got what you're saying though. Yeah, we got what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm not being disrespectful. It's just one is heavier than the other, and one takes and they take two different types of techniques.
Right.
So, the Formula One is very light and fast and responds real quick. The stock car is heavier and slower and doesn't respond as fast.
Well, I would say this, man, something that I found very impressive of where you were talking, I think it was on Uppity, you were saying how it was times where you were coming to the race and you hadn't even tried your car or test drove your car at all. And literally the guy drives your car up, you hop in and you race. Like, when you talk about a good driver or a great driver just being able to just show up and drive whatever and compete at a high level, I thought that right there was the perfect example of that.
Well, I pretty much could win in anything, and I proved that over and over. But to win, no matter what you're driving, you've got to have the best engineers, the best mechanics, the best R&D program, the best aerodynamic program, the best shock. You've got to have the best everything, and not just engines and car, but personnel. And all the teams hire the best engineers and the best tech guys that are available. I didn't have that at the top level. I had it at the medium level, but not at the top level.
I wanted to ask you about pressure, and I wanted to reference two examples. One, you mentioned earlier, whenever you went over to England when you were younger, you had your parents' college money on the line. I guess you were just young, just trying to get into this career, and it was like your dream. So like you were really putting everything out there, and I'm sure there was a lot of pressure trying to win out there and prove that your dream was valid. And then fast forward to the IndyCar qualification. It was the first one in the 90s that you qualified for. You made it on your last try. So I'm sure there was so much pressure going into that final qualification. And I know your times weren't up to par for all the other qualification attempts. Can you talk about just dealing with pressure? I mean, those are two instances. I'm sure there's many other instances throughout your career. How are you able to deal with pressure so well? Where did that come from?
My grandfather kicking my butt on the ramp. I mean, he had a lot of. You had to perform when you worked for him, and not just do it, but you had to do it well. And I always felt that I did better when I was so-called under pressure. I didn't really consider it pressure. I considered it sort of a challenge. And I regarded it as a challenge, not pressure. So I always did better, because it kept me razor focused. And the thing about qualifying for the Indy 500, and we weren't that year. And when people watch the film Uppity on Netflix, they'll see that I didn't get a lot of track time because we were having engine failures. We were having rod bolt problems. And so I didn't get a lot of practice. And Indy is a very dangerous place. As a matter of fact, with the exception of the Isle of Man, and the Isle of Man is in Ireland, and it's a motorcycle race across country, Indy is the second most dangerous place on the planet. It's killed a lot of drivers, and you have to you hang it out there, but you have to be smart, because a lot of drivers have died there trying to qualify for the race. A lot of drivers have died during the race, and it's a place that you want to be smart, but you have to you have to take a risk. There's a risk involved, and you've got to take it to be in the show. At that time in 1991, when I qualified, I bumped Tom Sneva. Tom Sneva had won the Indy 500. I bumped him out, and there was 60 cars trying to qualify for 33 spots. Everybody's hanging it out, and so you know the risk, but you also you must be smart.
Now, just going back, talking a little bit about, you being an African-American driver in NASCAR during a time where that probably wasn't the easiest thing to be. What's your perspective on Bubba Wallace and everything that's been surrounding him currently with NASCAR?
Well, in regards to the Confederate flag, Bubba was being used as a sacrificial lamb. And the reason I say that is it was in the news that Bubba asked NASCAR to disallow Confederate flags in the infield, because if anyone goes to a NASCAR race and they look into the infield with all the RVs and trailers and motorhomes, they'll see Confederate flags everywhere. It's the only sport in the world that flies Confederate flags in the parking lot in the infield. And so after George Floyd was murdered, and let's put it this way, if George Floyd was still alive, those flags would still be flying. So it wasn't because NASCAR had seen an awakening. they saw what was happening, and Bubba, apparently the word came out that Bubba asked NASCAR to disallow the Confederate flag. NASCAR does not respond to Bubba Wallace or any other driver. NASCAR does not respond to any team owners. NASCAR does what NASCAR wants to do. Bubba Wallace is without question the sacrificial lamb, and you can see by everything that's all the repercussions, including the president of the United States a couple days ago. He's under attack. They're not attacking NASCAR.
Correct.
They're attacking Bubba Wallace. I knew it right from the beginning what was going to happen, and I said it to the media. So, he's going to have to, weather the storm. Then the Newsgate came out, and apparently there was a rope hanging around. Rope was hanging around his pit, right?
It's crazy.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, I wouldn't have, and see that when I did NASCAR, none of that happened with me. And in fact, nobody ever got in my face at all, because they knew what the repercussions were going to be. They absolutely knew that Willy T does not turn the other cheek, and he will he'll have you eating your dinner out of a straw for 2 weeks.
And this is very documented. No lies are being told. Just put it out there for the listeners. No lies are told right here. Undefeated.
Yeah, that was, and my cousin Donnie, who used to play for the Cincinnati Bengals, who was tight end. Donnie's a big guy. He was about 6'5", and Donnie traveled everywhere with me, everywhere. And he wore a big black cowboy hat, and we didn't have problems. We even went into country bars, playing country music, and we had no problems there either. So, it was, and consequently, the uppity tag just got bigger and bigger and bigger. But, in regards to Wallace, I hope he's tough enough to handle it, because he's going to be tested over and over and over.
Now, I wanted to transition back to your career a little bit. Now, there were some points where you were going back in between certain racing leagues where you would go and drive vans for your dad's company back home. And can you just talk about what was going on through your mind then, where you're not racing anymore and maybe your dream seems a little bit far-fetched? Were you still thinking it was possible? Like, how big of a low point was that for you, and how were you able to, I guess, mentally get out of that?
Number one, I knew I could win. I had been winning, right? So one thing I learned from Muhammad Ali, and Ali would talk to me about his 3-year layoff, or 3.5 years. He reminded me that you don't lose talent, even if you're laid off. The only thing you can lose is your confidence. And he was emphatic about staying confident, and not giving up, never thinking it's not going to happen. And I knew that age was on my side. And so I stayed in good physical condition. I was at the right age where I wasn't losing my depth perception. Eyesight is very important when you're driving fast. And so my depth perception was good. My reflex speed was good. My feel was, that wasn't going away. And Ali was, very, very emphatic about never lose your edge, never doubt yourself that it won't happen. And I didn't.
Even whenever you were riding the vans, whenever you were out of the leagues, like that's pretty impressive to me. Like
Absolutely.
That's where things could maybe seem far off, that you're not participating in what your dream is. That's pretty awesome.
Well, I wore a lot of tires out on the van. I mean, I was driving the hell out of them. My dad's vans, but I didn't. I didn't doubt that it wasn't going to happen. So, but as I was saying, when I was in a layoff situation not at my doing, but the industry was not kind to Willy T. Rips, and not on any level, not on the NASCAR level, not on the IndyCar level. They weren't even knowing that I could win. It didn't matter. So when I was not racing and I didn't have a deal, or I didn't have a sponsor, I wore out my dad's van. He was doing new tires every 10,000 miles.
No, that's awesome. I wanted to say this real quick. I don't know if you wanted to respond or anything, but from watching Uppity, I was so impressed at the end, just like you were mentioning throughout your previous answer, how you didn't give up throughout the whole thing. And it really was just a cool ending to see you qualify for the Indy 500. I know that was your goal at the beginning. It was just a really cool story. So I just wanted to give kudos to you there. And I think, just that whole never giving up attitude was just awesome to see.
It's funny. The response I've gotten, I mean, the last response was from Sean Penn a few days ago. Sean Penn tweeted it out everywhere, said it's one of the best films he'd ever seen. And I've gotten responses from entertainers, and Mashallah Ali, he called and said he wants to make a movie out of it.
Nice.
Yeah. So the response has been overwhelming and appreciated, but half the response has been from people who never watched racing. A lot of young kids who messaged me and said, I have no reason not to succeed after watching your film.
Mm. Yeah.
That threw me. And 14-year-olds from Singapore messaging me, saying that they will always never quit.
Man, that's awesome, man. And like you said, anybody that hasn't seen it yet, we definitely encourage you to go check it out. Now, something that, like I said, it's in the film, but we definitely want you to talk about it before, like I said, because the people here, not everybody has had a chance to check it out. But just talk about, man, what it meant to you being the first African American to qualify for the Indianapolis 500, and ultimately, man, what that meant to you.
You know, I'm going to tell you, I get asked that a lot. I didn't care about being the first African American. I did not. I wanted to. I wanted to be in that race, which was the biggest race on the planet. And I'm sure, you know, anyone that play, you know, you guys are footballers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You didn't care whether you're the first African American Super Bowl. All you wanted to do was play, or the first, or the thousandth, or that didn't matter.
Just trying to get in there. Let me do it.
You wanted to be in the Super Bowl, and that was my approach. Has always been my approach to driving a racing car. I want to win, and that's all that mattered. And you know, of course, the sports journalists and historians and people who document social achievement, they made it a big deal because it had never happened before. That was the 75th running of the Indy 500, 75 years, right? And it never happened. So it was more important to them than it was to me. Now, looking back on it now, and when in hindsight, I look back and say, wow, it was really tough to get there. And it was tough to get there just because I was African American. So I view it as, okay, because I dealt with so many obstacles to get there and to succeed. From that standpoint, I didn't quit. There was a reason they were fighting me, and I'm happy that I didn't quit because of that reason, if you understand what I'm saying.
Absolutely. And now, being that you've driven and raced, I mean, not even driven, but just you've raced your stock cars, your Indy cars, your trucks. I mean, like I said, you name it, you've raced it. Which one of those were your favorite to race, and why?
I had no favorites. Whatever I could win in. I mean, it wouldn't matter if it was a go-kart. If whatever I was raced and won in, I liked it. It did not matter. A lot of people ask me, what kind of car do you drive? Do you drive a Ferrari or a Corvette or?
I mean, that is a good question. You in Texas, is flat. What do you drive? Now that we're thinking about it.
A truck. Okay, a truck. And to go out to dinner, my wife has got the high performance car. She's got a new 550i twin turbo Beamer.
Okay.
That's what my wife drives. I drive a Lincoln Town car.
Wow, luxury.
Okay, or the truck, because there's no way you can, no matter what you drive, that it's going to duplicate a race car. For one, you can't drive it on the street 200 miles per hour. You know, you can't go around corners at 150 or 200 miles per hour. You just can't do it. So I always treated automobiles, and I've never been in love with a car. I've been asked that. What was your favorite car of all time? I said, I love women. I've fallen in love with women, not cars. I never had a favorite.
I like it. See, that's good right there, man. Because I'm sure, like you said, a lot of people, they don't know that. They assume that, hey, man, you had success in Indy. All right, well, he's an Indy car driver. He has success as a truck driver. You know, he's a truck driver. That's what he likes. But that's interesting, man. And like you said, there is nothing that can ever compare to, driving 200 miles an hour. I think about just driving 80 miles an hour and what that feels like. I'm like, 200, jeez. And you're going around curves. This is out of control.
Well, you really know, you know you're a race driver when you're driving around a corner 200 miles per hour. Okay, anybody can drive actually 200 miles per hour in a straight line. You can do it. It's not hard. But once you get to that corner, that's when you know how big your girts are. You'll know either way.
I like it. So before we let you go, we always ask our guests, I mean, we talk to NFL players and we have what you call like your welcome to the NFL moment, that moment where you finally knew you made it, right? So for you, man, just talk about your welcome to professional racing moment, that moment throughout your career where you were like, this is it, whether it was good or bad.
Probably my first IndyCar race, which was the Long Beach Grand Prix. When once, I was there. I was racing against the best on the planet. You guys at your league, your NFL is the biggest thing on the planet. Mm-hmm. You were there competing against the best. Well, same thing. My first race, my first IndyCar race, when you're introduced to, and they do driver introduction, okay, it all paid off.
I like
it. All paid off. All the hard work paid off.
That's sweet, man.
Yeah, that's awesome, sweet. Man. No, we appreciate it.
Hey, well, Willy, man, we definitely appreciate you again for taking some time to hop on the podcast with us. And like you said, man, anyone that hasn't seen Uppity yet, man, definitely check it out. It's moving. It's inspirational. It's just an awesome watch, man. So like I said, man, thank you again for taking some time out to hop on the podcast with us.
Yeah, anytime. And you're on the red phone, so that red phone's 24/7.
Oh, well, we appreciate that then.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, have a great rest of the day.
Yep. All right.
You as well.
All right. Bye.